I'm sure an adjustment wouldn't hurt.
Right under the shoulder blade?
God almighty.
Well, my wife complains.
Oh my God. And you know what? I still have it. It hasn't. Don't worry about it. Mine hasn't gone away. I mean, it's like I said, 80, 90% better. I mean, I was in so much pain I couldn't move. It was terrible.
Come on in. Is yours under that shoulder blade, Tom? Right.
What's that?
Is it under that shoulder blade?
Yes.
That's where my wife complains. She's finally gotten it.
I can trigger the pain. It's connected to whatever muscle that is. It's pulling right behind. You know what I mean? So whatever muscle, when I do this, it's behind there. And man, it's terrible.
I don't think hers was muscle because she had a steroid injection done in her neck and it went away. It's gone away for 6 months.
The steroids are just a bad Band-Aid. A bad Band-Aid. God, you guys do, for being smart people, you guys do such crazy, terrible health care.
That's where she works. That's what they do where she works.
I know, but that doesn't make it right. I mean, I'm just saying
it's
not like you don't have the money to do it right. You just, with your diabetes the same way, you're just really just...
Boy, by the way, I got the good news. I have no diabetic symptoms.
Really?
None.
Man, you must have a bad doctor.
They diagnosed you with diabetes.
Well, I have diabetes,
That's
but
what I'm thinking. I'm a really bad doctor.
I'm taking Trulicity, and it took all the symptoms away.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
713-8255. For some reason, I can't hear myself, so must be a problem. But you can't hear me, so this is not working. Okay, I am not being heard. This probably is not working. I got my microphone plugged in. There I am. Okay. No, you can't hear me. Well, then there's something. Okay. I'm sorry, folks. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. For some reason, things were not working as well. But, okay, we're here. This is the Consumer Troubleshooter Show where we help people by solving problems. We take complaints. We give answers. We do whatever it takes to make your life easier. There's nowhere else in the media that is dedicated to making you feel good and feel better and get better and do better and get equal. That's right. You know, sometimes you need your pound of flesh, too. Social media does that for people. It makes everyone feel like a star. This is not necessarily made to make you feel like a star, but you feel like you have a fighting chance. Like if someone treated you lousy, ripped you off, they really hurt you, we try to make it better. Sometimes we get directly involved. Deputy Clint, do you have a 303-713-TALK is the number for relief. If you use referralist.com, it is paid advertising, by the way. I want to make that clear. But people are chosen based on background and constant monitoring and continual problem solving. If you have a problem, you have nowhere to call if you go to Home Advisor. You really don't. You don't have anywhere to call on Angie's List or any other list there is. You just don't. This is the only place where we truly background check and continually monitor, backed by a consumer advocate who cares. Every day we solve these problems. So Lynn wants to talk about a roofer. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about any problem you have. Now, people say, well, what about, you say everybody calls you without a problem, without going to your referral list. All the people that call you are people who did not use the referral list. What happens if someone did use it and they call you? They go to the top of the list. We take those problems first. Today we have a buddy in from the referral list. We always have people in from the referral list every day just to say hi, really just to say hi and hang out. And then I ask them to chime in. Just chime in on anything. Dr. Mike Hederscheit, he's with Bright Light Chiropractic. He is Bright Light Chiropractic for all intents and purposes. And he's my chiropractor. Deputy Dan is going to him. We were just talking about a little pain I have. That's weird when you're a chiropractor. You're always, I know you get that all the time. You're out at Village Inn, somebody says, hey, doc, I feel this way or that way. If they know you're a chiropractor, get a call at home. Hey, can you do something for this or that? Deputy Dan, he's going there, and I'm going there. Mark, he just hasn't made the move to chiropractic ever. If you do want to be introduced, though, he's a good guy to do it because he's very gentle. I was started by saying, Deputy Clint, do you have any follow-ups? Because really, we solve problems each and every day. And I would like a follow-up. First, I'd like to say that this hour is brought to you by Plumb Line Services. for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And the important thing about Plumline Services is that they now have a special going on, half-off air conditioner with the purchase of a conforming furnace. PlumlineServices.com. And make your choices wisely, even on the referral list. You know, I don't mind if people shop around, but by all means, use it. And they also have this special they want to know about. It's $149 for electrical issues. Here's what they're saying. They're saying they're going to solve your problem with parts and labor included for $149 for any electrical problem. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, Tom. How can they guarantee $149? Well, it's find, fix, or free. So they have a back door. So here's what they do. About 85% of the time, they find the problem and fix it because it might be an outlet, a switch, maybe a break or something. So for $149, they find it and fix it. They throw in the parts for that price too. It's a great deal. But there's about 15% of the time there's a serious problem. They can't do it. They just can't. So they say, this call is free. But here's a written report. So here's a written report. And that's PlumlineServices.com.
303-586-1086.
Mark, you memorized that, didn't you?
Yes, I did, sir.
That's,
right after I looked at it.
No, it isn't, but it is. That's the number. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Suzanne, if you find, I know there's different, we have different numbers for them in different places, but for our 303-586-1086, PlumlineServices.com. So, Deputy Clint, what do you got going on?
We've got a lot of updates, a few of them good, but boy, this has been a rash of police brigade.
Tell me what's going on.
First one, Earl, he had a tough shed he wasn't getting.
Now, that tough shed, we were concerned about that. He put money down on it. What was the problem? No, I thought he just never heard from them, or what was the deal?
No, the problem,
I don't think it would fit in his yard, right?
No, it turned out to be a completely different problem.
Okay, what was his original problem, Clint? Do you remember what he called about? I thought he said he put money down and never got the shed.
That's right.
Okay, then what happened?
The holdup was they were waiting for a site plan that they had to have to put the shed in there for the permit.
And who does the site plan?
Well, the homeowner's responsible for it, but fine, what I did, I talked to him.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you mean an improvement survey? What do you mean by a site?
They just called a site plan that gives the size of where the shed's going to be in the setbacks and stuff.
That's called
a
an improvement survey.
Yeah.
So they needed an improvement survey in order to show that it was going to be on the proper place.
And he didn't understand that. Tough Shed stepped up, did it for him, got the site plan done, and brought the shed in the next day.
Wow. Clint, that's pretty damn good. He had been waiting for months.
Yeah, well, a lot of misunderstanding.
Well, good. Thank you. That is very cool. We can add that to our total. Just for people listening, when I say hundreds of millions recovered in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services, it's like we'll take something like that in a tough shed, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll throw the price on there.
Why does he need that for a shed?
It's just a barometer, by the way. Okay, why do you need an improvement survey? Okay, with most building permits or any kind of permitting process or approval process or mortgage or loan, they not only want to know that the thing itself is built properly, but that it is where it is supposed to be. So they want to see an improvement survey. Many people get a lot line survey for their home, but they don't get an improvement survey. Sometimes an improvement survey may show you have if you're in the country, your septic tank on someone else's lot by mistake, or you're encroaching, or they're encroaching.
No, I get that. I'm sorry. Let me put it this way. Why would Tough Shed care if he got an improvement? I thought Tough Shed, you just, like the ones they sell at Home Depot, you give them $2,000, there's your barn or whatever.
Well, sometimes they're portable, sometimes they're not. I don't know, but I'm suspecting they had to get a permit, and they needed the improvement survey, or they have an internal process that demands it. Look, I don't know the reason. I know what Mark's thinking, because Mark, I swear, most of the time he's right. I'll admit this. I'm getting kinder in my older age. He's still more skeptical. And here's what he's thinking. That's an excuse. And when we called him, they got it.
That's right.
I know. That's bottom line. You're saying, look, it's a convenient back door for him. And Clint's always nice at giving him the back door and saying, okay, thank you, just get it done. So bottom line, I think Mark's probably right. I think they were sitting on it, and we lit a fire. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. Okay, get some others ready. That is a really good one, by the way, Clint. You got to let us know about these. I mean, this guy is, hey, Gina has a problem with a storage unit. So let's talk about Gina. Gina?
Hello?
How's life?
Oh.
What, rough?
A little bit.
Why do you have a storage unit to begin with? Do you have too much crap? Just be honest.
I was going through a divorce.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
put
to.
all this stuff in there. So,
Right. So hold on. You're
Okay.
going through a divorce, and you rent a storage unit, and then what?
Well, I've had it for about a year, and I actually just signed my divorce papers in July. And but before that, I had just been, dropping off a check every month for my rent, and it wasn't any problem. And at the time, it was Green Valley Ranch self-storage. And somewhere it got bought out when I wasn't even aware of it. So when I went and took my payment,
all the contracts are usually assumed. So.
Yeah. So I wrote a check out for June, and I drove down there, and I went to slide it through the slot in the door, and I noticed it said extra space storage. But I had already written out the check for
What do you
Green
mean
Valley
extra?
Ranch.
What do you mean extra space storage?
That's the name of it now.
Oh, I see. So
company.
you had written it out to the previous name.
Yeah, and I dropped it off, and it got cashed like 2 days later in my bank account. It cleared my bank. And I thought, okay.
Well, I would think okay too. Okay, let's rather than tell me the story though, let's get to the problem. What did they end up thinking? What did they end up saying you didn't pay?
They said I didn't pay June's rent.
Okay, and you have a canceled check.
I do.
Okay, so then if you didn't pay June, they're going to call July late for June, right?
Right.
Okay, so where does it stand now? It is July. Are they saying you still owe for July?
They say I owe for June and July plus a foreclosure fee.
Hold on. If you paid for July, it would be applied to June because
I didn't pay. They wouldn't accept my July payment because it would have been a partial.
I got you now. Now hold on a sec though. If you have a canceled check, did you present it to them?
I did.
And what did they say?
They said that just proves your check was cashed. It doesn't prove we're the ones that cashed it.
Well, sure it does. It has a bank account number.
Yeah, and she says, well, that's not our stamp. And I was like, well, it says Wells Fargo. She goes, well, we use Wells Fargo. And I said, well.
Well, so they are, okay. It's possible the old company cashed it. Yes, no, maybe. What?
I don't think so because I checked my check from May, and they used Citywide Bank. Green Valley Ranch Storage Bank, that Citywide Bank. That was the
So are you actually, did it get to a point now you're getting evicted?
They're proceeding with foreclosure or repossession or whatever it is.
Oh, no,
on my
come
unit.
on. If you can prove you have payment, we got to turn this thing around.
Yeah.
By the way, Mark, this doesn't work for the microphone.
Why'd you pick that one out?
Well, no, you bought this at Amazon. I just can't. Hold on, we're going to call him for you. I mean, Clint, give him a quick call. I can't believe a simple Y connector just doesn't work. It doesn't connect. It doesn't work. It flat out does not work. I'm going to try it during the break. 303-713-8255, buyandbuild.net. If you look there, you'll get a preview of what you'll see at 4800 Washington Street, Buy and Build. It is a giant, big, ugly warehouse, plenty of parking, and I mean ugly. Now, that doesn't mean it's dirty or crappy or dangerous. No, it's just ugly. It's a big, giant warehouse. All he cares about are deals. On cabinets, oh my God, great cabinets. Do you know you can get cabinets? I bought cabinets for my garage, shaker cabinets, not because I'm extravagant, because I got these top-of-the-line cabinets. Listen to this. Cheaper than Home Depot was selling their garage cabinets. So I looked like a big hotsy-totsy when I did this, and all I did was went to Buy and Build. You can send your builder there. You can go there. And you'll find extraordinary deals from cabinets to floors like laminate flooring, hardwoods, plumbing fixtures. Oh my God, you won't believe it. The beautiful faucet sets for like $12, $20, $30 compared to hundreds. Also, light fixtures. Buyandbuild.net. It's 4800 Washington Street.
Try this now. Bruiser.
The bruise.
So everything connects, it just doesn't work?
No, it flat out does not work. Here, if you put it in there and talk. Let me know. Mark's going to put it in his.
Hold on, maybe it's one way.
Oh, yeah, it would. But don't you assume a simple Y connector would work? Seriously. All right, now hold on. Okay, turn it on. Now, just use that part right now. Now turn on your mic and just talk.
You got me? Nothing?
I'm talking.
It's
Damn Amazon.
Oh, you do? He hears me fine.
now. Hold on. No, seriously. I mean, if
There's the other one.
it either works or it doesn't. I mean, this is not rocket science, guys.
He said he could hear me, though, so
Okay.
it's good.
No, well, let's see. It absolutely wasn't working. Now, hold on.
Boy, do you ever look right in this red? Look at how you look.
Okay, what about it? Hello? He's not. You can hear me. You can hear me, right? What? Why does it sound? I don't understand. He says it sounds crappy. It's a Y connector. It's splitting the level.
Did it
It's
do it on
splitting
mine,
the
too?
level.
Did it do it on mine, too?
Maybe. And of course, you go to the showroom. Did it sound crappy on his?
I didn't notice that it did. I noticed it with you.
Let's try it.
And the front range quotes on the phone 303-386. I know what it's doing. It's splitting the line level, Mark. It's splitting the levels. That's
Where the hell is he?
because the microphones require micro voltage.
Testing.
Yeah, it sounds good. Okay. Well,
It doesn't sound completely horrible, but it just sounds distorted. It doesn't sound as clean.
So it's not
we're
going to
going
work.
to send it back, right?
So how are you going to do it?
Well, I'll just have to turn that on and off over there.
Since 2001, we've
Yeah.
helped more than 1 million dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynavite.
Come to Dynavite for help.
What's up, Doc?
What's
going on? What's up,
If
Doc?
you want the dog to be healthy,
I bet you've heard that
the
before.
healthy feed amazing fatty
A couple times.
One of the cartoons.
the digestive enzymes that are
From the Flintstones?
Mark, your headset in?
Dynavite
No.
nutrition.
Dynavite for life.
Don't let
Your
your dog
headset
itch
don't. Oh,
and
it is.
scratch
What's this?
or shit
Oh,
like
never mind.
crazy.
Sorry.
Come to
Oh, yeah.
Dynavite for help.
859
Just adjusting spines,
428
getting people healthy.
Cracking back.
Cracking backs, the ultimate back cracker.
Crack.
Cracking backs without the cracking.
No, you're
All of us.
No,
But there are ways
Not
around
a
it.
torque.
Doc, is that your bottle there?
My friends at American
No,
Finance.
the mine's right here.
And
No,
I
actually,
know
Did you bring one of those things?
I did. Oh, I should have brought it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you torque him
I
up.
crack your back.
You torque up Mark a bit.
Yeah.
Walk
Can I ask you something?
Are far
Is that
more
thing
than a
adjust?
student loan or credit
So
card
minutely?
rate? I'm talking rates in the low single digits
I was wondering
versus rates in the high double
We
digits.
have this thing
Why
that
would you
pounds.
consolidate that high
It's a
interest
thumper
debt
or a
by
vibrator for the
refinancing
back.
your
Yeah.
mortgage?
You know, the things
You'll
you
speak
buy at
with a
Target.
salary-based mortgage consultant.
And they have
who
a
will
tip on
customize a
it.
loan to fit your
Different
needs.
tips, flat
They're
tip,
already saving
round,
customers up to
bulbous
$1,000 a month.
and then
plus
more
there
of
are
a
no upfront fees
pointed,
at American
not
Finance.
sharp, but a
You can
pointed.
close on your new
And
loan
you
in
can
as
go
fast
on
as
the
10 days
spine or
and
anywhere
may
and
be
go
able to
tick, tick,
postpone
tick, tick.
up to
You can
60
pump
days of
fast
mortgage payments. Get in
or-
touch with American Financing at 303-695-7000
Now, is that
or
technically
online at
screwing up your
AmericanFinancing.com.
spine? Because you're literally
That's
doing,
more
or
of
is it not
That's a
delivering?
muscle kind of.
Is it-
That's a percussive
Well,
muscle.
I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
But is the force,
do it. Do I have pre-diabetes?
are you saying the force? If I put it on mine,
Probably not going to, are you? Kids.
it's not as much as
Listen
that
to the
one.
radio.
It's different.
You're
No,
busy,
it's not gonna
which is
do
great
that.
because
The
people
integrator
with
that you use,
diabetes,
it's the speed that it fires at and the precision and the direction
They
that
can.
it fires.
It really has that much force.
It does.
So
Yeah.
visit, do I have
Have you ever seen like a hammer hitting a nail in slow motion?
Because pre-diabetes
Kind of when
can be
the hammer hits down, the nail doesn't drive into the board until there's a recoil.
Michael
Have you ever seen that before? So the literal the recoil of the hammer pulls that drives that nail into the board. That's the idea behind the instrument that I use. So it's the speed of the recoil.
I
that-
saw one
that's
guy
the
one
word.
time, years ago when they first started using it. He did it on a windshield.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Cam Solar is a name of a solar contractor on a referral list, referralist.com, that you can trust. Now, Cam Solar is not going to promise you the world. They're only going to promise what you can deliver because they guarantee the delivery. They also have a 20 years parts and labor guarantee. Now, I want to tell you something. No matter who I'm talking about, no matter what company I'm talking about, lifetime warranty means lifetime of the company or the manufacturer. You know, if K&H gives a lifetime warranty, let's say, and the company goes out of business, the manufacturer of the window, well then K&H can say, we'll take care of it. They've done it for me in the past. But I'm just talking about in general. when you talk about, for example, any warranty. I just want to make that note. Now, they have a 20-year parts and labor warranty, and they're pretty strong, 20,000 units in production right now, and they will give you an analysis of your site and the radiation and the amount you can generate by simply filling out a form. And there's no obligation, but you can find out what will this produce. And, you know, there's low-cost financing, no money down ever because of the tax credits, and you start saving from day one. You buy the system so it doesn't screw up any kind of purchase of your house if somebody buys it. So here's the deal. Go to, this is the website now, gocamsolar.com. gocamsolar.com/troubleshooter to fill out the form. gocamsolar.com/troubleshooter. By the way, anything you hear advertised on this show is an integral part of what we do, and you can ask and tell us and bitch about it, criticize, ask questions about it, because this is a totally transparent show, and we want everyone to be comfortable with what they do. All right? 303-713-TALK. Where did our storage person go? She's waiting for Clint. Clint, you called, right? Do you have an update?
I have the back of the check, but we have to figure out what to do with it.
Well, what I have to do is call them and say, look, why would you, can't you trace it based on that bank account number?
They're making her do it.
Well, she already did. What I'm saying is she can't go to their account and pull it up to see it was deposited. There's an account number. Now they have to take it, Clint. What can she possibly do?
I know. They're saying she has to prove it. So
she has to prove what?
I don't know. I guess
prove what?
Proof.
Prove what?
It sounds like they have a IQ smaller than their shoe size over there.
Okay, so she has to prove. She proved she deposited a check, and it went into an account.
Yes.
From that point forward, that account number either is theirs or it's not. So I would call the bank and say, I'm having a problem. Whose account is this? I would find out whose account it is. Now, I don't know if the bank's allowed to do that, but certainly these people can do it. Yeah. Just simply ask them, you're kicking this woman out. Can we please find out if this account number matches yours?
Got it.
What do you mean she has to prove it?
When did this check pay for, anyhow? What month?
It was she did it for June, and they said they didn't get it. Therefore, when she tried to pay July, they said, no, we're not taking July, because you didn't pay June. So now she's 2 months behind, and you know what they're going to do. They're going to go through the whole foreclosure process. So if she goes to court, what she needs to do is take some action. I don't know why these people want a legal action. All they have to do is trace an account number. What's their name over there? What is the name of the place?
Extra Storage.
Extra Storage. And did you talk to someone there?
No, not yet. I've just got the information.
Okay.
Gina.
Well, then Clint, please call and say, all we're asking is you check the account number. Okay. I mean, why would someone go through the trouble of kicking someone out without doing that? This is the niche the radio show plays. It's a knock upside the head to say, please just communicate. Sharon, what's going on with you, Sharon?
Hey, Tom. I just wanted to give a shout-out to Pro Auto Care. I heard their special on your show, probably around Mother's Day.
We love them.
And they are fantastic. My daughter-in-law goes there. My son goes there. I took my car in yesterday. They are just the nicest people, and believe me, I've been to some of those, corner oil change places.
Yeah,
and
you get what you pay for.
Trying to upsell.
No, these guys are great. I'm glad you loved them, Sharon. I really appreciate you telling us. We thrive on feedback. So.
And and my daughter-in-law loves them. My son loves them, and they're kid friendly. And in fact, there was a couple that were bringing a truck in yesterday when I was there, and the woman was real apprehensive, and she goes, "Can you do it?" I said, "Hey, these guys are great. They're not going to rip you off. They're great." She goes, "Oh, thank you."
Oh, that's so nice of you.
That made me feel so much better.
Sharon, thank you so much. Now, she forgot to mention Al's her dad. No, I'm just kidding. We love this. Dr. Mike Hederscheit, and being a chiropractor is weird these days because there's a lot of chiropractors who really just don't practice adjustments. Okay, how much do you need to know about someone to get an adjustment? If someone had a chronic back pain, they just walk in. I know this for a fact. It's so difficult. I was out of town one time, and I knew all I needed was an adjustment to get rid of my migraine. And, of course, The guy said, well, I don't know your spine. You know, you could be like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He says, I don't want to take that responsibility. That's kind of right, isn't it? You can't just walk in and say, hey, give me a quick adjustment. I mean, it's dangerous, right?
Right, it can be pretty dangerous. So you have to definitely go through process of...
You have to, something, right?
Yeah, I mean, paperwork, a spine exam, possible x-rays if you need
Could you imagine if a guy had, you know, a bone just about to break and somebody, you know, adjusts him and breaks his back? I mean, I don't know if that ever happened, but...
I think a big issue that happens with chiropractors is where some of them maybe aren't doing their due diligence to make sure it's safe to adjust.
Is chiropractic pretty much accepted now? You know,
I think so, yeah.
You know, I mean, there's no hard time with that, right? With insurance, is there?
No, insurance is they're paying it. I think it's getting more mainstream now. People are looking at it as an alternative, a good alternative approach that's safe, non-invasive way to help them with their health issues.
And I think the biggest problem I've had with chiropractors in the past is that everything could be treated. They would not say to me, see a doctor, or you ought to get this looked at. You know what I mean? I'm talking about just health in general. I think they have an obligation to say, you know what, you might want to, you know, check this out, or if your blood pressure is not under control, maybe you ought to check out medication. I don't know. I'm just saying it never used to be that way.
Yeah, I think one of the most valuable kind of assets to having a chiropractor is that they need to be able to refer you out when it's beyond their scope.
And they have to know that.
And they have to know that, yeah.
Right. Okay, Christine, I'm not sure we can help you straight up, have to tell you that, but I want to put the word out. You need help paying rent. Is that the bottom line? She also needs help with her phone. She just hung up. I just don't understand.
Probably one of those Obama phones.
No, seriously. I can't believe this. Do you know the Obama phone is a myth?
No, it's not. They gave away thousands upon thousands of free phones.
Wasn't Obama's program.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. It was done under his presidency, though.
I'm not sticking up for him, but I'm not, you know. By the way, he was never bashed.
Hey, if it helped people...
He was never bashed as much as
If it helped people get a job, there's no problem. If I can give you a phone and literally that'll help you get a job, I'm all for it.
I'm all for it, too. Along with an address, you know, a mail drop. People need mail. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Mark and I have this thing we call dropping off the cliff, falling off the cliff. It means once you fall off the cliff and you hit bottom, there's usually danger, injuries, sometimes fatal, sometimes you can't recover, or it's very difficult to rock climb to the top. Once in a while you get a helicopter lift. Once in a while you get Good Samaritan. But we like talking to people. This woman who just said she can't pay rent. We like talking to people before they drop off the cliff. If you're in trouble or getting to be in trouble or got laid off or you're about to be homeless, the sooner you call us with any problem, the better off we can help. Okay? So remember that.
Then there's the point that nothing helps. Literally.
Right.
Remember we tried to give a homeless lady, this is going to sound crazy, but a car. We figured it would get her a job. It would get her all this. Then we find out she didn't have a driver's license.
Right.
Then we found out that she couldn't even go somewhere to get a driver's license. So everything was already gone.
We also had another guy who needed help just for a couple nights in a hotel or motel. Then he disappeared when he got money. I think he was a drug addict.
He was the one that was staying at the Marriott.
We get scammed once in a while, but this guy talks so well. Look, I'm not looking for a handout. I want to, you know, I just need some help for a few nights. I got this job interview. I'm going to get the job. And we thought, you know, he was smart because he gave us a tangible target. When people call and say they're hopeless, oh, my God, I can't do this, this happened, my dog died. You know the stories where it keeps going on, and I'm disabled, and then this happened, and that happened, and I was hurt. And it's like you think, oh, my God. It's too much. But when someone calls up and they have a tangible or something you call, you can put a handle on it. This is a hint. If you want help, put handles on it. For example, this guy, I have a job. I was down on my luck. This is what happened. I ended up here. I just need to stem from here for a few nights, and then I'm done. He gave me a handle, a certain amount of money, something we could do, something you can sink your teeth into and say, okay, this is helping, except he was lying. And we never heard from him again.
He didn't like the place.
What was his first name?
I can picture him.
Gil.
That's right.
Gil. Anyway, 303.
How about Shauna, real quick? Remember her?
Shauna.
My God, she was sneaking. We found her a place, and she was sneaking men in through the basement, running a brothel. I couldn't believe it.
Hold on now.
Honest to God.
Mark, we didn't confirm that.
Okay, well then why would the lady lie who rented her out the house?
The landlady was pissed, okay, and she had reason to be pissed because of the story she told. I get it. But then going that leap saying she's running, you know, a whorehouse is kind of...
It was pretty much, that's what she said. I'm not exaggerating. That's what the person said.
She just might like men, and men like her.
Many men.
You know, I mean, 303-713-TALK. Christine is back with us. I'm going to go back to her. Lynn wants to talk about a roofer that was supposed to paint her house. We also have Dr. Mike Hederscheit with BrightonYourFamily.com. It's Bright Light Chiropractic. BrightonYourFamily.com. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney. By the way, John has often referred customers and clients to chiropractic. John Fuller is going to take a look at your case in a good, honest, complete way. What I like about John is how he connects the dots. This is very important. If you know anyone who has been in a wreck, a motor vehicle accident, of course he handles other personal injury, but for the time being, let's just do this. If you're hurt and it's an automobile accident and you don't know where you stand, at least call him. That's very important to know your rights, to know that you're getting what you really do have coming to you, lost wages or something like that. He knows how to connect the dots, meaning somebody may not have coverage, but someone in their car may cover that accident, or they may work for someone, or they might be living with someone with insurance, and believe it or not, it can extend. He knows the details. 303-597-4500. John Fuller. His website is personalinjuryco.com, and of course, you find John Fuller at referralist.com.
It's driving me bonkers, man. I hate these decisions.
Okay, sit back, relax, enjoy the ride.
It is such a weird
But
thing.
that ride's going to come to an end tomorrow.
You know,
Okay, how long does it take for the stock to go down? Can't we put in a sell order for
He's going to have somebody to buy it.
well, no, it'll go down. It'll open way lower tomorrow. So you either sell after hours, which is always risky.
But if we hold it, we may take a hit equal to or more than what we just earned in dividend.
No, you haven't got
Dividend is tomorrow.
Oh.
So you can't sell tomorrow.
Well, no.
If you hold overnight, you're definitely
We're
not
either gonna,
selling
no,
tomorrow.
that's what I meant. We're either going to sell before the dividend.
Tonight. Today.
How do you time it? How do you time it?
You know, because earnings are tonight.
If earnings...
The stocks are going to go up or down after hours.
But if the earnings are up plus there's a dividend,
Yes.
it may not go down after the dividend, yes or no?
No, it fuck yeah, it could be great. It could be.
It could pay a dividend and keep its price.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because what would happen is they come out tonight, earnings are great, stock goes up. Because of this huge dividend, if you own it tomorrow, people buy the stock, right?
And the dividend's going to be for the next 3 quarters also.
And I don't, and this is just a philosophical discussion. If I had a friend, literally, who's dating a secretary at that place,
yes,
and she said to my friend, guess what? Our earnings were way better than expected. And he said to me, by the way, the earnings were way better than expected. Honest to God, that's inside trading.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, that is the definition.
If she get in trouble?
Oh,
yeah,
fuck
absolutely.
Yeah. She'd get in the most trouble.
In fact, people in that company cannot buy or sell a month before and a month after earnings.
They can't mislead either. You can't come out and say, oh, it's going to be the best quarter we ever had, blah, blah, blah.
All Martha Stewart did was wild. She
got somebody said something, apparently.
She acted on information from an insider. I mean, that's what happened.
But how much really, if you trace it back, where does research end and inside start?
Someone's got to tell.
Well, with someone in the company sharing information.
Can I say something? That is what Billions is all about.
Oh, is it?
And I have to tell you, of anyone in this room, you should be watching that series from day one.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
That is an educational series and entertaining as hell.
But
you got to start in season 1, episode 1.
Let's go back to risk assessment right now. you're probably up 15,000 plus on that stock.
How many shares do you buy?
How much? 5 or 6,000.
He's not up 15,000. He didn't buy it at $12.
He's up. Let me see. I mean, I'm going to be right there.
But here's what I want to say. How much?
Yeah, he is. He's up 13 to 15,000.
I thought he bought it 50 cents higher than you did.
So if I'm here,
Oh, he did, but he has more shares than I did in that account.
if I'm here and I go to attorneys, and then let's say I go to, I guess criminal defense, whatever, doesn't even. Then I go down. That's a bad example because there's no page 2. If I'm under attorneys,
Just hold on, okay? We'll be right with you. I just put somebody on hold. I couldn't stand it ringing. It's line 4. No, it's not your fault. You're here.
if
But
I'm here
I wonder if Drew can do that once in a while.
and then I go here, it's no longer attorneys.
The show says billionaires?
If I go next,
Still
or
billionaires.
page 2, or next, it's simply no longer
Like a
attorneys.
Netflix show or something?
I-
Or? That's weird.
Showtime.
Showtime, okay.
It's really, really good.
You'll see exactly where he's at.
I don't understand why I'm getting
He is exactly at T. Martinez. 9,411.
Oh, you got 9,000 shares. Okay, yeah, you're up.
No. He's up almost 10 grand.
Where did you buy it at? Oh, you're like $13.
He bought it at. This doesn't show where he bought it at.
Yeah, it does.
Well, no, not on the screen on that. I think he bought it at 1341. Yeah, that's exactly right. He bought it 1340 something, and it's up $2. And he's got 5,000 shares. That's $10,000. But where's your? Do you sell it and take the 10, or do you want to hold on to your balls and go overnight? I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Gotta hold on to him.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK. Art of Granite. You heard me talk about, buy and build and how much you can save. Well, Art of Granite will do you a turnkey countertop and cabinet combination in your kitchen. So if you want to do it and you want to put together some stuff called, Simply Floors, ink for the floors, and then you call Mitch Floria and he'll do your countertops. Now, he's a natural stone importer, so anything you want to put on there, he has, okay, quartz or granite. Now, then what happens is you then can pick cabinets from him for a small markup from the manufacturer. And that's one way of going, Art of Granite. And we love it. I've used them. Mark has used them. Or, you can do it yourself or have other, your contractors go to buy and build. There's all kinds of ways. That's what I love about the referral list. And artofgranite.net is definitely one of the most popular because Mitch Floria, a Romanian immigrant, I love his story, $300 in his pocket several years ago, came to this country, worked as a fabricator and said, this is my love. And what he's going to do is he's only going to charge for fabrication and installation. The cost of material is passed on to you with no markup, and he tears out and hauls away everything free. That is no small job. He also does the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. So if you want a turnkey project for countertops and cabinets, artofgranite.net. Mitch Floria, get your price on the phone. That's what's wonderful about this deal. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net. And I mentioned floors with Simply Floors Inc. because they are the bottom line, the cheapest way to buy floors. That is it. Oh, yeah, even bigger than the mills and the outlets. They have a 52nd and Ward showroom, southwest corner, but you don't even have to go there. They'll come to your home, simplyfloorsinc.com. We know Buddy Mitchell personally. You see, when you call these other lists, they don't know these people personally. I know Buddy. He's going to do they'll give you the greatest service and the best price. Simplyfloorsinc.com. It just doesn't get better than this when you have everything you do dedicated to helping people. Really, Christine needs help. Now, social help, rent, can we do it? Sometimes we've been able to help. Sometimes we can't. Christine, what's your situation?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
So basically, I mean, our landlord raised our rent just this last month to $1,850. For the last year, we've been paying $1,600.
Now, hold on. Did your lease expire?
It did. So now we're on like a month-to-month thing.
Yes. So when did it expire?
It expired in June.
And by the way, if you have a little one there, I don't mind if you attend or talk to them at all. I mean, so can you tell me how much it was, did you say? Hold on a sec. Suzanne, I'm going to let her stay on hold. I'm not going to hang up on her. Let's get the basics off the air. Can you go talk to her, Clint, on line 1? She has a little baby. Christine, we're going to talk to you off the air and get the basics, okay? When rent goes up, I want to ask you a quick question, Christine, and I understand you have a little one. Don't worry about it. We can help you. When rent went up, how long ago did it go up?
So it ended up going up July 1st.
Okay. And did you know beforehand they gave you notice, right?
Yes, they did.
Okay. How much did it go up?
So it went
I
up,
don't need to know how much the rent is. How much did it go up?
It went up about $250.
Okay. And you're living right on the edge, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any help? Is it you and your children? Do you have any help? Do you have a roommate, a husband, or anyone?
Well, I do have a husband. He's actually at work right now. He's the one that actually called into the show first, but he's
Okay.
at work, so I had to call in.
Okay. And so you guys, what do you need? Do you need help for 1 month? Do you need, what's your plan? Hold on. That's what I want to talk about. That's really what I want to talk about. And Clint will get more information from you during the break. That is really what we want. Dr. Mike Hederscheit, do you have a screaming deal for our listeners as Bright Light Chiropractic?
Absolutely. So our deal for right now, we have full evaluation, thermography scan, which detects the nerve issues.
I want to mention this. I had that done, the full evaluation. So did Dan. I paid $50. The X-rays alone at another office would be $150. Thermal scans, consultation, examination was $50. That, to me, is a screaming deal. Or are you just? Is that? Tell me what you get
for $21.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
For how many?
For
how many? Like the next 10, or are you doing? You're not.
We're gonna do for the next 20 people.
Okay, my God. Next. The only reason I said that is you're going to go broke at $21. I mean, it takes you hours. So for $21, they get a full evaluation and can begin to be a patient.
Correct. Yeah.
At $21. People, first of all, normally it's going to be more, 150 or more anywhere. I mean, seriously, you get, Mike, that is for X-rays and everything.
Yeah, if we need to take the X-rays, that'll include the X-rays too.
$21 for an initial valuation to start treatment.
$21, that's it.
And by the way, adjustments can be cheap too, down to $30, depending on how much you buy, and you're a veteran. And then the most they are is $50. Okay, that's brightenyourfamily.com. Now, I told you about Art of Granite. I told you about the other places to save you money, like Simply Floors. And I told you about Buy and Build. Well, K&H Windows is really K&H Home Exteriors. Forgive me, but they've been with me for years, like 30 years or so, and I remember them from their original name. Same company, in business 62 years. They have a home improvement special now that I love. If you need new siding, you'll get the best siding, lifetime siding. Never worry about siding again. With Everlast Siding, you will get 30% off your entire siding project. They also have their special on windows. Find out more about that. It's just coming in, but it's triple pane upgrade free. So you gotta call and ask about that. This is K&H Home Solutions. Their website, khwindows.com. khwindows.com to make your own appointment. If you have some quick questions, 303-421-7100.
This report is brought to you by Furniture Row, and they'll give you a dental evaluation.
It's still an evaluation from Aspen, yeah.
Aspen, yeah.
I know, I should have had her.
No, if she, like, say, they can sit in the back, and she just won't have a microphone.
Who's this?
They're Aspen, their receptionist, you know, the little cute little girl.
Yeah.
Her husband's a Marine on duty. Yeah, she's a real nice. I had a long time.
Great.
Got very lucky that we found
What do you think? What do you want to do, man? You want to take the profit?
Come on, hang in there with me.
Okay, how much is the dividend on what I own?
75 cents. So we got 6,000 shares.
5,000.
$5 grand.
5,000. No, it'd be a little less.
Oh, you said 6,500 shares?
No, 5,000.
Oh, 5,000.
75 cents, about four.
That's a little less than 4 grand.
Like 38.
But the exit strategy depends on the earnings.
If it drops $1,
We're dead.
well, no. If it drops $1, you would do 5,000. You would be up 5,000 still. Then you'd get 3,800 for your dividend. So that would be 88.
Baby, was that the big problem that you couldn't communicate to her? Do you still?
Well, right now he's up almost 10. That's the whole argument.
You
You think it'll drop more than $1? Really, that's
you
where
want.
it
Did
goes.
you still want to I want the information.
Go to your buddy
I want
Kramer.
to know what they want. I want the
Who
whole
I
thing.
have
I
zero
want-
faith
What are
in.
they calling about? She
Said-
said they don't have money to
It's
pay
a
rent.
red
Does that mean
It is a
every
red
month?
flag.
Does it mean?
But it
Kramer-
is a red flag.
Kramer
Do that
is
while
an-
she stays
It
on
is a
hold.
red
He's
flag.
a strictly
It's too late now because we're coming back. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a
But
red
they're
flag.
I
doing
wanted
it
to talk off the air
because they
of
want to
the
get out
Okay.
of being the master limited part.
And then the
go to
thing with the
regular
check.
stock.
Yeah, the reason I
That's
came
what they
back
have
in
to do.
here.
That'll be in the earnings.
I was having
That's what they originally said.
We couldn't read
So
even
they
know.
got 4 quarters of that.
Well, of course not, but she can. Why?
I don't know.
Trent wanted to do
You're
11:30.
saying
Are
that's
you
a
okay with
rule?
that?
Or
That's
regulation?
what they, I don't know what it all is, to go back into it, because I don't know all what it is.
Okay, she's got baby, I don't even know, in the doghouse or something. It's all silent. I don't know if you wanted to like get some
I'm
good
gonna go
info
back.
from her.
Now, here's the deal.
We'll go listen to the earnings.
I want to make
call
this very
tomorrow.
simple for management. We're not asking for anything. If she didn't pay, screw
Bring
her.
our
We're asking to at least listen to her. That
Yeah.
check was deposited in an
Got
account.
the income.
Was it your account?
Where's he at?
Yes or no? That's it. I mean,
Where's the
anybody in their
Pinball,
right mind would want to
tournament
avoid
things.
court and figure that one out.
Two things.
No, it's what he does for a living.
Number one, there's no evictions on those. They owns a shitload of this place, but
He sells
I gotta call into court.
mostly these
Well,
guys.
what does it matter if it's an eviction or an auction?
I know, but he's
Okay.
worked for it.
So we want to avoid it.
Yeah,
He's
but
good.
I gotta call into corporate because nobody below knows what to do. That is it. They just so new, they don't even know what to do.
Deaf, dumb, blind,
She
and
said she has to prove that she paid.
Are you saying fat?
This is net.
No, they said to her, all it shows is her check was cash.
Yeah.
There's nothing else she can do. Maybe she can call her bank and say, I'm having a problem. Can you tell me, I know the number of the account, can you tell me whose account it is since I made the payment? Would you have her do that?
Okay, yeah.
And if they say it's the old company, we figured it out. And she gets her money back from them.
She's just gonna take her off into work and doesn't have anything with her.
That will do it tomorrow.
Okay, let me have her.
How many do you have? How many shares? You got 16,000 shares, and you're not even gonna fucking sell, say, half of them?
Assets and credit will provide you with a verified
He's over here.
I've had it since January.
I know.
Okay, if stocks go down,
rate shield approval.
then I'm going to almost break even with today.
While you find your new home. Then, once you found your
Maybe,
new home,
if it only goes down $1.
your rate stays locked.
If
If rates have gone down, your rate drops. And you get to keep
Drops
that
down
lower
here, all
rate.
these little sellers.
If the stock, if earnings go up, if earnings are as, what are they, did they put out an expectation?
76 cents is the average.
Is as an average what?
They take the different analysts and stuff and varies from.
What are people saying? That are
76 cents.
76 cents is the average of analysts would say.
What are they saying?
That's 76 cents. Some say 80, some say 70.
If earnings are gonna go up.
Right.
Well, no, they're saying that's,
Earnings are going to go up from this last year.
no, they're saying
Are they saying it's gonna be a good announcement?
they don't know.
They don't back, you don't know.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Joe Lazzara is on my referral list. He's a criminal defense attorney. If you've been popped for a DUI, shame on you. You can prevent it with a designated driver, with Uber, with Lyft. I stress this every single time. It's the dumbest ticket in the world. because you can prevent it. But guess what? Some people are texting and stuff, and they swerve, and they're stopped. And you know what they say? I haven't been drinking, officer. I'm sorry, I was just texting. Boom, you get a ticket. Listen, you can't fight stupid, but you can get help. And that is Joe Lazzara. If you're not guilty, that's a possibility too. Seriously, not everybody charged with a crime is guilty. Joe Lazzara can help you. Call him for help. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Joe Lazzara. He's on my referral list at referralist.com. So basically, Christine and her husband are renting this place, and they did not renew their lease, but it goes month to month, and you found out rent went up for July, or July 1st. Did you pay rent or not?
Did we pay July 1st? Yeah, we paid July 1st. It's going to be for August.
Okay. Now, in August, how short are you?
Well, we're not exactly sure. So the
Well,
thing is
Christine,
that
by my
husband's
calculations, if you are paying rent as you should be and as you were, and you're staying ahead of the game, you should be exactly $250 short.
Right. Well, normally we would be, but we also live with my sister-in-law who recently lost her job. So that's another income that we don't currently have. So it's just my husband basically trying to pay.
So it's you, your sister, it's you, your husband, his sister, and and how many kids?
Mine and my husband have 2 kids.
You have 2 kids, did you say?
Yes.
So there's 2 kids in the house. So there's 5 of you living there. She helped pay. What did she pay? A third, half, what?
Technically it was half because I don't currently work. I stay home with our 9-month-old daughter, and while my son is out of school.
Okay. So without her income and without and with the raise of rent, you have a problem. So what I want to ask is this. If you were to get help for rent, how much do you need first? I need to know how much you're talking about so we can put the word out. How much?
I'd say right now we're looking at least $600.
Okay. Now, what happens after that? What happens for September?
Well, for September, we're going to be good because my husband actually just got a new job that pays him more, and what they're doing is they're going to front him his paycheck. He's supposed to get paid on the 5th, but they're going to front it to him on the 2nd.
Now, do you mean front it, and then he has to wait extra long for the next check, or what? Because that fronting money does not create money; it just shifts money. So, and I'm really serious here. I don't mean to talk to you like you don't understand, but truly, that just means you wait extra long for the next check. So, you say you will be all right for September because they're fronting you. What happens for October?
Yeah, my sister-in-law is going to be getting a job. She actually has an interview today, and then I'm also going to be getting a part-time job. I have an interview for Safeway on Wednesday.
Listen, you sound sincere to me. I'm trying to just get the ins and outs because inevitably somebody listens, we listen too, and somebody says, you know, Tom, we'd like to help, and then we have a charity account. I want to make this clear. It is not an approved 501(c), so the money is not tax deductible that you send to us. But here's what people do. They say, I heard Christine, or I heard Larry, or whoever is on. I really feel bad. I think they're sincere. I want to help. And then we funnel the money 100%. We don't take a penny. So, Christine, I can put out the word. We can see what we have in our charity account, and we can consider it. And I'll mention it again coming back from the break. You know, it sounds like one, and I don't mean this as an insult, one of 1,000 stories. Can it be prevented? Sometimes it can't. I don't know. More and more people are finding themselves in this position. We'll talk about this and more coming up.
Take aim. Affordable interest.
You heard that call. What do you think about it? What do you think about it? Did she do anything wrong? I mean,
I wasn't paying
Mark,
attention.
I always listen. We get these calls all the time. Okay, they need money for rent for September. Why? Because for August 1st. Why? Because the rent went up $250 and they don't have enough money. So I said, by my calculations, you should be $250 short, but they're not. They're $600 short. Why? because the sister-in-law, who also lives there and is paying rent, she lost her job. So now you have a double whammy.
So wouldn't that be a different number then?
Well, here's what I'm trying to figure out.
She must have some money.
If she was paying half, and now it's 600, by my math, if you really want to do it right, and her half is missing, this is the way you do it. I mean, that's why math, there's a saying, math never lies. So take 600, right? And then if you take 600 and you minus 250, you have 350 left, right? 350 is, so I'm minusing 250. So, okay, 350 would have been the sister's half,
right?
Which means the rent's 700.
No, the sister might have had some money. She just lost her job, so she just wasn't able to pull that.
Well, I'm going to find out because what I'm saying is 350 is the missing half. Is it missing half? It's missing something. Right. So why? And if it's not, then you got to ask questions because many times these people just want a Band-Aid with no plan and is throwing money away.
So here's another thing: is if she went back to him because she's on a month-to-month and signed a new lease, could she get less payments? Because she went from a lease to a month-to-month, and so they probably jumped it. If she re-signed a lease, could she get cheaper?
Is that what they?
Yeah, if they could.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be good. Also, her husband just started a new job. His sister lost her job. Is this a chronic joblessness problem, or? I don't know. Why has the husband got a new job?
Fairly decent rent too. 18.
How many people are one paycheck away from disaster?
I don't know about disaster, but
it's crazy. It's crazy what they say the percentage is. It's like 25%.
Well, they call it paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
Michael Brown had a thing, over a year ago. He was talking about how many people couldn't raise $100 in one day or $500 in 1 week. And it was an astounding number.
What's what Ramsey says too.
If you go, you mean in the world or here?
Here in the U.S.
Expected a similar move in 1992.
Like making the money or just
couldn't
having
raise
just here's $100.
Couldn't raise $100 cash in
from
a day
the bank
or
or whatever.
$500.
How many? What's the percentage?
It's like 25% or more could not do that.
It's crazy. I mean, you
heard that
Dave
too, right?
Ramsey. Well, you listen to Dave Ramsey and stuff. His big thing is you've got to, first thing you do is stick 3 months worth of living expenses. But he's also, I don't agree with him, just like Tom doesn't have a credit card. How do you live without a credit card?
What does he say? Get rid of it?
Yeah, he says cut them off.
Oh,
It doesn't, absolutely.
Not for
How do you
credit
go
line,
on a
but
trip without a credit card? You can't
money,
rent a car.
What do you mean?
How can you go on a trip
You have a
without a
debit
credit
card, I
card?
see what you're saying.
You can use cash. What do you mean?
You rent a car with cash? No, you can't.
You have a debit card.
If you flat down 50 fucking thousand in greenbacks, he'll give you a
Are you
It's got to be an extreme.
You buy the car.
It's just right for you.
No, it'd be next to it, possible. In hotels, because they want, even if you prepay for it, they still want a credit card when you check
You're saying I was right.
in. For the minibar.
In case you destroy the.
That's why they need extra money, because they hit the minibar.
You know how Ramsey thinks your house.
If I owned an apartment complex, I'd put a fucking minibar in every fucking room.
There you go. You know how he believes that you pay off your house, pay off our real estate. If you don't leverage a little bit, you never.
Absolutely. And then you build up the credit rating. You got to build up the credit rating because that gives you cheaper insurance. It's job hunting is better.
My 15-year mortgage is 2.65%. Why in the fucking world would I not take what I could pay my house off with and invest in? I know I can make more than 2.5%.
But Ramsey himself will say that. That's why he is for the chronically stupid. Dave Ramsey. Well, I'm serious. The chronically stupid is who his audience.
You don't have to worry about
Because
resetting your loan.
not living with a credit card or, like, say, a home mortgage. I mean, if you don't have strong credit, I mean, you're missing out on a lot of good deals.
Choose the term based on your budget.
You have
You
enough
don't find the
equity
most
in your house,
competitive interest
you
rate.
lock
It's
the buy
your
more
mortgage,
That's what
your
we've always
way.
done.
Plus, with a fixed rate, no matter
Don't
where
do
your
anything.
interest rates go, yours stays the
You
same.
should be, but you will always be able to pay your
It
rent.
just takes
I
one
mean,
call
your,
to the salary-based mortgage to
Well, because it's income property, paying me.
and we'll customize the right
But like I say, just think.
Looks like it's good now, I gotta change.
may even be able to get you closed and even
But you're different. You're
so get
totally
started
different.
now. 303-695-7000. That's
He's got some good things.
303-695-7000 or
In
online.
fact, he says, don't buy a house you can pay cash.
Oh, I don't think he says that.
Pretty much.
That's how most people build equity in their lives. It's a house.
You listen to him.
My first house I bought for 110 in Parker, sold it for 220.
You listen
That's why
to
I
him.
could buy the next house.
You listen to him.
I don't think he says that.
And car definitely.
You think Ramsey says don't buy a house till you have cash? I have a hard time.
I've heard him say it. I've heard him tell people here in Colorado that to go rent. To go rent.
That's how most people start building any kind of wealth.
Talks about cars that way too.
But
Yeah,
cars,
cars
I
I
have a
can
problem.
understand.
I don't have a problem.
No,
with
wait a
cars.
minute. Come on. You know, there are a lot of people that need good, dependable transportation.
Oh, no,
and
no.
leveraging
Right.
is just fine.
And that's the other thing. He'll
It's the
say,
management of leverage.
Right.
Yes.
Another
You know,
thing
why
is-
not teach?
No, but it's still a lot different than a house. Cars go down in value, homes go up. That's the
But
difference.
here's the other thing. He'll also say, well, go buy a $2,000 car. Well, a $2,000 car will end up buying it cost you $5,000.
But see, those words are easy to say, or just check it out then. You know, make sure you get it checked out. I mean, we pontificate so many times and we're not practical. We're just not practical.
But he, like,
So I say the wise management of leverage is the secret to wealth. That's
Yeah.
it is
Yes,
exactly.
absolutely.
It is the secret to wealth. It gives you more power than you could ever have on your own, and I don't give a shit
Yes.
what anyone says.
I agree. Credit is, of course, you use it correctly.
You don't want to be
Credit
too
is
close to that
protected.
edge because
You never want to be close. I got,
Yeah.
you know, I got carried away, but I had 30 million in debt, 60 million in assets. Who would ever think in a million years that you and 20 million in the bank? Who ever thought that things would go down to a third? No.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. I am here to help you solve your problems, answer your questions, take your complaints. And this is brought to you by Centeno Schultz. Stem cell therapy for real. You know, I detest all of the fake crap going on in stem cell therapy. This is a consumer show. We fight stuff like that. And we love helping you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, recovering millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. I got an email today. Oh, man, oh, here it is. I didn't think I could put my hands on it. I love what you're doing, Tom, with this exposure. I saw Peak Chiropractic, Peak Vitality 11 months ago at a seminar. They were advertising stem cells, and I had various treatments, and no help whatsoever. That's just one of them. And they said I was getting living stem cells. There's another one that talked about Dr. Dean Jones, downtown chiropractor, downtown spine. Used to be a sponsor here until we found out about all this faking. And there was a note about him charging outrageous amounts. They actually got swollen and infected, and it was disgusting. They went to him. He would do nothing, and now won't even talk to them. So I hate to digress to this every time I talk about stem cells, because stem cells are great. Living stem cell therapy is great. By the way, it is not what everyone tells you. It does not grow new tissue. It does not make up for bad anatomy. It helps. I want you to know the truth. It is wonderful stuff, but not for everyone. Dr. Chris Centeno was the first one to do this in a clinical setting. Centeno Schultz is the clinic I recommend for true advice. And if stem cell is not an alternative for you, they have other alternatives. Centeno Schultz, 303-963-9201, 303-963-9201. Now, speaking of this, Dr. Mike Hederscheit is here. He's with Bright Light Chiropractic. He does not do any phony baloney stuff. He does not do stem cell therapy, but I know he knows there are a lot of chiropractors getting into it. Have you heard some of the exaggerated claims, Dr. Mike, on stem cells?
All I know about stem cells is that you got to get it at the right place.
Yeah. Now, have you ever had a patient that had stem cell therapy and it worked? And not from you, but I mean that you're treating. Have you ever had one?
Every time that I've seen someone that's had stem cell, they didn't really know if it worked or not.
Right.
Yeah. So they were seeing me probably because it didn't work.
Yeah, it's a lot of them snake oil. Have any of these companies come to you trying to get you to pitch or sell for them?
Oh yeah, I've had a few. I don't remember the names, but yeah, I'd say maybe once every few months a company will reach out to me and want me to be a part of their stem cell
It's like
team.
they target chiropractors. It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, it is. It is. Now, we'd love to talk to you about your experiences, people, but we had a call the other day, or the other hour, about not paying rent. Where did she go? Did she hang up? We were going to try to help.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to mention it again, Tom, and I was waiting on an email or a phone call from listener friends.
But we do have her information.
Absolutely.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
This woman, Christine, says we need help with rent for August. Why? Because rent went up $250. They're more than $250 short, though, because at the same time, their roommate, her husband's brother, the roommate, lost her job. Therefore,
how do you lose a job in this economy?
They're short $600. You know, that's a good question to ask. I never do. But they're short $600. I am not, listen, I don't judge you when you call, but I do need to know facts and information. So don't mind me if I ask. I want to help people. So call me before you fall off the cliff, before rent is coming up in one day and you need money. Because that sounds a lot like, and I'm not saying this about Christine, but like a drug user. You know, I need money. Oh, tomorrow. It's you know this way ahead of time. Marty, I'm sorry for the wait. What's going on with you, Marty? Marty?
Oh, hi.
Hi, Marty. And listen, really thank you for waiting. What's going on?
Oh, I just wanted to give a plug for Excel Roofing.
Really?
They're the greatest.
Well,
Yep.
you know what? This is like the second call on the air today, and we get so many emails on different sponsors, and we love when we hear that, because I truly do want to hear. Was the experience smooth?
Yeah, I mean, over the years, he's put a roof on my house.
Uh-huh.
He's put gutters on. I had them go recently, I think it was last year, to go to my brother's and put insulation in the attic. And even when they were here at my house, there was somebody that egged a little bit of my house on one corner, and they even cleaned it.
Wow, that's cool. So listen, Marty, thank you very much for that. Excel Roofing, great people. Now, Jay Bretz is listening. I know he is probably, because he's laid up in bed. He had a very bad break of his leg, I believe cycling, right? Or was it dirt bike? Whatever it was. He does so much.
Dirt biking,
he's what I call, he's a Peter Pan, which means, hold on, he doesn't believe in aging, and he's a Peter Pan, which means, you know,
Or
I
a
don't want to grow
Tinkerbell.
up. I don't want to grow up. I'll never, you know, and then to Never Neverland, and then he thinks he's like one of his kids, and he ends up breaking and bruising. I know, I've been there with him, snowmobiling like a maniac. So, here's the deal. Jay Bretz, please send us a picture that we can post online right now of your injury. Yeah, let's send a picture so people can have sympathy. Maybe he gets a couple roofs. Speaking of roofs, Lynn, what about your roofer, Lynn?
Hi.
Hey, what's going on with your roofer, Lynn?
Well, last year I got hit by that hailstorm.
Yeah.
And some reps for Smart Roofing stopped by.
So you had a door knocker, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fine.
Now,
fine.
A local company.
Sure.
So I got online, checked them out, and they checked out pretty good.
Okay. I don't know what that means, actually, though. You mean the reviews and stuff?
The reviews and stuff are pretty good.
Well, that's good. It's better than not checking. What happened then, sir?
Exactly. Well, then they came out. They met with my insurance adjuster. We got everything squared away. They said, we can take care of your paint. There's some screens that need to be replaced. And we got through all that stuff. The first check came, and I signed it over to the rep. And he explained to me they use this company called Genesis Capital Ventures. And
what does that mean? What is
We've
that?
heard of them.
What is it?
Well, supposedly
I do not want to mistake it. Please, I have to say this straight up. Genesis Total Exteriors, my people. I mean, don't ever, you know, because you mentioned that name. I want to make absolutely sure people know it has nothing to do with them. What does this Genesis place, this venture, do?
Well, I'm not real sure.
Well, why did
Why
a roofer tell you about this to begin with? What was it for?
Well, they take the money and they hold it until everybody's happy. Then they turn it over to this Smart Roofer.
Huh. But why would the roofer, now, I'm wondering why the roofer would mention this to you. Why do they care? I mean, if I'm a roofer and you're willing to give money to me, why would I introduce a third party?
I'm not real sure. That was actually just the representative that happened to. He just kind of mentioned it.
Okay.
I think he was trying to reassure me that once I'm happy, then everybody gets paid and everything's good.
And who gives the analysis of your roof?
You mean as far as checking it out?
To give you your initial estimate.
Oh, I had my insurance company had an adjuster come out.
Yeah, but who on the roofing side gave you the estimate?
Oh, I can't think of his name. His name was Daniel, and his father.
And did he do it without looking at the insurance estimate?
No.
Okay.
No, he actually met.
Well, you're doing so many things wrong I can't count, but this is good. No, it's all right. It's good for other people. I still want to help you. What I'm getting at, people, I've said this a million times, and forgive me, there are a lot of new listeners moving into town, so I'm just going to say it one more time. Don't ever, ever let the adjuster meet the roofer initially. Let the adjuster tell you what you need. Keep it separate. Let a roofer tell you what you need. Why would I want two separate views without them knowing each other? Why would I want that, Lynn? Use logic. Why? To make sure the adjuster's not screwing you. Because if a roofer goes up there and says, you need this, 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 and this, and the adjuster says, in the beginning, you only need this and this, you go back to the adjuster and say, my roofer says I need more. Let them fight it out, but at least you know they're fighting it out.
Right,
With the way you did it, Lynn, your roofer and the adjuster did it together, didn't they?
Well, they met, and the adjuster.
Yeah. So
the adjuster didn't want to replace some of the stuff.
And the roofer talked him into it?
Pardon me?
The roofer talked him into it?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this. If there was other stuff that the adjuster did not want, and the roofer agreed to it, how would you have known?
I'm not real sure.
Well, you wouldn't have. And Lynn, this is not directed at you, but if that's what I'm getting at. If a roofer and an adjuster meet, and a roofer really wants the job, and the adjuster says, we're not paying for this. We're only going to pay for this. You want the job or not? And the roofer says, fine, well, okay, your way. I'm just saying, people, I'm telling you the safest way is to have a roofer tell you what you need, approximate what you need and how much it's going to cost. Then you compare it to the adjuster. Then let them fight it out. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but I will unveil the secret to you as to why this guy told you about Genesis Ventures. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because the guy who initially knocked at your door was not the roofing company, and Genesis is going to sell the contract. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
That's why. Because a roofer's not going to knock at your door and say, Lynn, we are XYZ Roofing. Oh, and by the way, rather than just taking a check from you and getting paid directly, oh no, we want you to give it to this company instead, and then they'll make sure you're happy and pay us. First of all, if a company said that to me, I'd say, you're screwed up. Let me tell you what Genesis does. Genesis tries to go in there and pump up the claim and then pay for that claim and resell it to a roofer. So right from the beginning, you're getting a screw job, in my opinion, because they're not dealing in truth. Okay, so where do you stand? Where do you stand in this process? After you met with Genesis at the door and they said they want to meet with your adjuster, where do we stand right now?
Okay, well, now these reps, they claim to be from Smart Roofing.
Well, they might be because technically they're high. You know, they work together. You can say I'm with Smart Roofing. Yeah.
Yep. That's why I say now it makes sense. But they did do the roof, and they did a good job.
Good. I'm glad.
With the roof.
What's that? Good.
And so, but that was late in the fall. Well, I didn't hear anything for quite a while, and I tried their cell numbers.
What do you mean you didn't? Why would you hear anything? They already did the roof. They did a good job. Hold on. I'm waiting with bated breath to hear the problem. The reason I extended that out about the venture company is because that's how a lot of roofers are doing it. People knock at your door are not even roofers. Do you know another industry that does that? Moving. You think you're talking to a mover. Do you know 9 out of 10 times you're not even talking to a mover? When you go online to book a moving company, you're not talking to a mover. You might be talking to a middle-aged man with a 2-day growth of beard in his underwear sitting in his mom's basement. And then he takes the contract and sells it to anyone, including temporary day labor. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This is the only show where you get truth, truly, about what to do on an each and every day basis. Fix It 24/7 will send an expert to your house for $39. Fix It 24/7. We just called them about a garbage disposal here at the shop here. And you know, we use a Fix It 24/7. You can too. $39, they identify the problem, no matter how long it takes. Garbage disposal is easy, but what's wrong with the garbage disposal? Maybe it can be fixed. Okay, what about a flickering light? What about plumbing? What about any other problem? What is going on? They'll find it no matter how long it takes and present you with an estimate to fix it. If you decide to have it done, you get more than the $39 back. They don't charge you the $39 and give you $77 off any repair. So you pay $39 tops. You might just want to know what the problem is. If it's not serious, leave it for another time. But if you do get it fixed, you get a $77 discount. You don't pay the $39. Fix It 24/7. One of the finest companies I know. I've been dealing with him personally for years and years since he was a young guy. This company is run so well. You will love the people. Fix It 24/7. $39 for any diagnostic, no matter how long it takes. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. FixMyHome.com.
The roofing company did the roof and all the painting and everything, they promised to do extra.
Yeah, it's on the call screen.
Is it? Yeah. I get too many, way too many.
Yeah,
They'll tell you anything to get the job. And, I'm sorry, we don't have a subcontractor.
So they're not paid.
Well, for hail damage.
Where on the side of the house they got it?
Like on hail damage.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't do painting, so they're gonna sub it out to somebody else.
Yeah, paint damage.
Paint damage.
Feels like one of those days.
Anyway, they say, yeah, we'll take care of everything. And then they don't. They
You're
go to the roof.
Roofscamhelp.org.
Yeah, and then they run away. God, this roofing industry sucks.
Which is a bogus website.
What is?
It says this Genesis is or recognized by roofscamhelp.org, which is
The guy in the basement in his underwear.
no, it's not even a website. It's not even a website.
Just some guy going out door to door selling roofs.
He looks like us. Who does he look like? He looks like Dr. Thomas Schultz.
He does. He looks legit.
Does he look like Dr. Centeno?
How long are you in that boot?
10 months now.
Who is it?
You already have
That's the guy from
Yeah.
that.
Genesis.
He's
a little
skinny.
Yeah, right.
I just went to the wrong place. I've been in for 10 months. And I've got an abscess on the side of my heel over here. I don't have feeling in that foot from back surgery, not from, but I am diabetic. That's really,
You should
so I go to
this is a
Rose,
I mean, this,
the
of course, a
diabetic
lot of it is just because it is
wound care center. I
earnings.
mean, I'm more
Where's it at right now? Mine is
for 10 months.
20 cents up.
They never did any testing, they never did anything
It's
but
up 20.
bandages.
Versus it was just up 35.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And because
But that's where you can jump into a lot of
diabetic symptoms like
The only thing is,
blood flow and all
I
that.
hate to
So
freaking miss
Friday I go over to Presbyterian St. Luke's, a different clinic.
Well,
but they have
usually when I day trade, I try to start pretty early, man.
They
Like
do
around
tests.
8:30.
Well,
Then you have the whole day, man.
I have no compromised blood flow problems. I have no compromised diabetic neuropathy. They said my feet are as
You know
healthy
what,
as
I
anybody
don't
can
know
be.
how it can not.
It's an infection. I haven't been.
Look what I'm up ultimately on HCL.
I've had an infected wound for 10
HCL.
months.
11,000? You didn't
They
tell
just
me
got 3 days
that.
blood infection, they didn't clean it out and all that.
Well, they washed it with sterile saline.
23,000.
You told me you had 6,000. You just bought some more.
No, I have some in one.
So,
This
yeah,
includes my dad's account.
Yeah, they're saying that it should heal about 6 weeks.
I wouldn't have you. How much is that?
But you know, I know my wife's a nurse. I was going to the place hospital where she works, and recommended.
Here's where I'm really fucking headed.
You know, they just made some assumptions that.
And they finally started turning.
So they're positive today?
No, not today. Actually, today they're down almost
No, I haven't heard it.
27.
I might have heard the commercial.
But,
once a week in
and then Walmart finally turned positive on.
Give you a shot and tell me once a week.
Or maybe not. It's changing.
Modifies your stomach.
No, Walmart I'm doing pretty good on.
Type 2 diabetes.
The only one I'm getting is my lunch is getting eaten on is that fucking Ford. Hate Ford.
Hey, more diabetes don't make it.
What do we decide?
I don't know. Decide after the show.
Buy some now.
We'll double up.
Or
I
double
think
up.
they heal you. I'm thinking, I'm leaning towards selling because it doesn't seem like I'm going to make much more.
It's guaranteed money, man.
Even if the stock goes up, it doesn't look like it's going much more. And hogs get slaughtered. What is it?
Kramer's
What is it?
I wouldn't even use Kramer as he's a.
Why do you relate? He doesn't know who Kramer is.
That's who Kramer says. Pigs get slaughtered.
No,
Kramer
it's
says,
way older than
Pigs
Kramer.
get fat, hogs get slaughtered.
Well, Kramer uses
It's
that
not
all the
Kramer.
time.
Yeah, but he
uses
didn't
it
come
all
up
the
with
time.
it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Tim came up
He
with
uses
it.
it all the time. And,
Farmer Joe.
and he hits a button, goes.
He
He does. He does.
I love the sound effects. I do, man.
Okay, I'm going to use them. Yeah. I have them. I got to get used to them again.
Bye.
I like it. Very entertaining.
You look at them.
This is pretty stupid. We're going to have their commercial on 11:30. They just had one. I suggest 11:45, but that's just me.
Saturate the market.
Genesis Capital is actually out of Aspen.
I'm sorry I can't be as good as your boyfriend.
I don't know what you're talking about. I ran 2 commercials before you got into.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, and I love doing what I do for you. So please help me continue to do it by dumping your problems here. But first, let's try to prevent them. You know, I'm actually trying to work myself out of a job, I guess. Glenn has a comment on the roofing call. Now, we're not done with the roofer yet. We got to go back to that call, but he was getting to the problem, and we talked about third parties coming to the door and then selling your contract. Go ahead, sir. What's your comment?
Hey, Tom, you've talked about it before, but I made the mistake a few years ago. My neighbors were getting new roofs, so I called my insurance company. And
There's
he came out and said,
nothing wrong with that. Okay, you did that, okay.
No, the mistake was I should have called a roofer because the insurance company, there was nothing there, and they counted it as a claim against me.
Oh, you're right. You're right. If you don't have damage, even if they don't pay out a dime, it's counted against you, but it doesn't count the same as if they paid, but it is a negative. It's considered a negative because you asked. Every question you ask counts against you.
Yesterday you talked about the physician, the ear, nose, and throat doctor. Did you ever get his name?
Yes, it was his name is actually Donald Carter, but they go by Pete. How do you know him?
Okay.
How do you know him?
Because he did 3 of my kids, and my kids loved him.
This guy's a genius. Is he retired?
I don't know. It wasn't a year ago.
Well, he's around my age, and he was the guy that found my mastoiditis. I swear to you. And then had me that afternoon in the surgery. Well, he's just great. But you know what? He saved my life. He literally saved my life. So 303-713-TALK. So Lynn talked about a roofer coming to the door, did the roof, and it's a great job. So that's good. What's the problem now? Get right to the problem part, Lynn.
Okay, they were supposed to paint my house.
Now, do you have that in the contract, or was this on the side?
That was in the contract.
Oh, okay.
They were gonna do the roof, paint the house, replace some screens.
Now, when you say paint the house, replace screens, was that paid for by insurance?
Yes.
Okay,
now,
so it was actually hail damaged.
Right. This was hail damage. Now, where it gets kind of weird is that the roof was done. They did a good job. It looked nice. I didn't hear anything from a while. Well, early this spring, a lady and I just kind of assumed, well, it's wintertime, they're going to wait till spring. A lady from Genesis Ventures, or that's Genesis Capital Ventures, calls me, and she said, well, you need to give us the other half of that insurance check. And I said, well, I got it. I couldn't get a hold of the reps. I tried calling them, And the check said it was void after 60 days, so I cashed it and put it in my savings account. Well, she almost got, she acted
Pissed.
like she was kind of angry. She said,
Well, you know, they love those insurance checks, and they know the longer you have it, the less likely it is you're going to pay.
Right. Well, she said, if you want the work done, she says, you got to send us that. She sent me a certified envelope with another envelope in it to mail her a personal check, which I did, so I could get my house painted.
Yeah.
And then I called.
Well, hold on. Lynn,
Yes.
So I know that you want to tell me the process, and then you called, then they called, then they said this, you said this. But let's get to the bottom line. You paid the entire thing in full right now, right?
Yep.
And they did not. They did not do the rest of the work. Is that right?
Nope, that's right. The roofer knows nothing of me, and I talked to
Guess why?
the lady.
Because you didn't hire the roofer.
Well, that's evidently. Well, he told me he slept the one day. He said, "Well, my buddy runs Venture."
Okay. So what are we going to do about it? You need to figure out how much of the contract did they line item the painting.
Yeah, 60. I sent him a check for $6,300.
No, I'm asking if they line itemed the painting.
Oh, yes, they did, but I don't have any of that in front of me.
Well, that's what you have to sue him for, or we have to go after him for. So can you get that information to us? We need to see the contract before we even start. So, Lynn, hold on. Suzanne will tell you how to get that to us.
Okay.
All right. What we need is the contract showing the painting, and we don't know who the contract is with. I think it's with Genesis. And by the way, I need to make this very clear. This guy's talking about a place called Genesis Ventures, which knocks on doors, gets insurance contracts, and sells them to roofers. That's what it's looking like. It is not Genesis Total Exteriors. This is a great company. And they do roofs, Genesis Total Exteriors, and they do gutters, and they do painting, and they do fences, and they do decks and kitchens, baths, basements. So the reason I'm saying this is I do not want any confusion with these guys. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509. Okay? So I can't have confusion. Go ahead.
I think this Ventures place, their main deal, though, is they get with roofers that really can't afford to not get payments up front. I think really they're more of just a cash flow or a check cashing.
Sometimes, but many times, Mark,
they're selling them.
Yeah, they're selling them, and they're selling the contracts, or they're taking a portion. Sometimes here's what they do: they go to a roofer and say, "We can get more money per claim. We have the ability to get more money. So if you go knock on the door and you get the job, most likely we could have gotten more from that consumer to make up for our fee, plus get you more." And it gives them a level of security. But don't believe it, folks. Don't believe it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Hank, what's happening?
Well, it's a pleasure to speak to you.
What's going on with you, sir?
Good. Try to find a company on your referral list that would make and install a wrought iron.
We used to have great fabricators. We used to have great fabricators that did that. One guy, God, I don't even know. His name was Chuck, if he's still in business. He did the best, and he did them all just boom, 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 boom. So who do I talk to? I don't know. We got to find someone. Who can we find? Clint, don't just give out a name. I mean...
No, I'm not going to give out a name. If he checks with Dencol, D-E-N-C-O-L, Steel, down at I-70 in Santa Fe, the guys all buy their supplies there. They would know who would be a good
we need someone for the referral list on this. Mark, we don't have a fabricator, a wrought iron or an iron fabricator for doors and stuff. We don't. We got to get someone. If anyone does a great job, let us know. We're gonna we'll tell you the general stuff. Don't just ask for references. Actually check with them. Truly, please check with them. We can also run a check if you want, Hank. What we'll do is put out the word, get your number. Suzanne, get his contact. Anyone who knows a fabricator for, they call it wrought iron. Are they even made of iron anymore? Are they technically wrought iron? Are they? Or you know what we mean? Steel doors, metal doors, iron doors. We're talking about that beautiful look. I love those doors, and done right, they're beautiful, and they add security and they add beauty to your home. So let's try to figure out someone to get them on the referral list. Listen, folks, there are a lot of areas we need to fill in on the referral list, and we're working at it every day. So, Mark, did you write that category down, wrought iron fabricators? So, Hank, I'll tell you what, we could even probably get someone and check them out for you right now if somebody does that and wants to call in. Now, of course, not all companies are going to get on the referral list. They know that they're going to be checked out. Some of them flat out don't want to be checked out. 303-713-TALK. Dr. Mike Hederscheit, chiropractor, is with us, and he's offering that special. Don't forget, $21 for an initial consultation with your screening. That means x-rays, examination, thermal scan, all of that is included in your initial evaluation. And sometimes x-rays aren't needed. But when? When are x-rays not needed? You mentioned that, and somebody asked on email. When are x-rays not needed?
Typically, I won't x-ray somebody if they're pregnant, so it's a risk-reward thing, and kids a lot of times won't need to be x-rayed either.
And if someone has existing x-rays?
If it's pretty current, I can look at those.
All right.
It depends within the next last year or two.
303-713-TALK is our number. Okay, so we're looking for someone who does wrought iron or fabrication. Give us a call. Robert wants, oh, this is a good one. He pleaded guilty to something that wasn't for him. We need to get an attorney on this if we can. Robert had a stroke. They said he was drunk, and he pleaded guilty. So we'll figure this out. Now, it wasn't Robert, it was his dad, but that's the case. Mistaken. Why did he plead guilty? We got to figure that one out. Why would you plead guilty? Okay, Pro Auto Care is your car nanny. Pro Auto Care. What does that mean? It means once you become part of that family, and I am, 2 locations near Evans and I-25 near Bowles and Santa Fe, in business 26 years. If you are part of that family, you get guarantees of every repair, but something else. Roadside assistance in between repairs. It lasts for 36,000 miles, so that's most likely in between every single repair. 303-PRO-AUTO. And you also get reminders by email or text on what you need and when you need it. I love this service. I don't have to think about my car. They take care of it for me. All major maintenance, minor maintenance, tune-ups, whatever I need or don't need. They'll tell you if you don't need something, because so many people say, oh, you need this. You can go see them and trust them. Pro Auto Care. 303-PRO-AUTO. That they're going to be on the show? Oh. Okay. Hold on. And how many? 15? Okay, let me think. Let me just think real quick. Okay. Okay. You tell me when. Do I turn the mic on? I can just start any time? Okay. I'm going to take my headset off because I need to. Okay. Ready? Mudjacking. What the heck is it all about? Well, we'll talk to Crackerjack Mudjacking coming up at 10. Mudjacking. What the heck is it all about? We'll talk about Mudjacking. What the heck is it all about? We'll talk all about mudjacking and what it is with Crackerjack tomorrow at 10.
So you know that guy that always emails you, doctor before at AOL? And you never respond to him.
No,
so I'm Mark's keeper, so I guess I'm your keeper too. Because now I'm getting emails going, why doesn't he ever respond to me? What are your thoughts on this? It would be nice to have an acknowledgement. You want me to send it to you so you can see? I feel like saying, I'm not Tom's keeper.
Who's he's not?
What's that?
Who's he?
Just this emailer guy. He was common man once.
Oh.
What's he want? What's his problem?
He just likes commenting on the show, and he was sending the emails to me, and I forwarded them to Tom. Finally, I just gave him Tom's email and said, "Here you go. I know he reads them."
My personal email?
Whatever email he emails you at. This has been months ago, Tom. Like he would go, "Why doesn't Tom email me?" I said, "I don't know, but I assure you, I forward everyone to him." And then at one point, I think I just gave him your email, but that was months ago.
That's fine. What is he?
I'll have to look. I'll have to look to see.
Oh,
what
he's probably retired, Dr. B4.
Yeah.
What are some
He
of the things
wasn't
he
as a
asked for?
common man.
What are some of the things he asked?
I have no idea. I haven't received an email from him in
So
months.
basically, I understand. I usually answer people. They deserve the courtesy. The only time I don't is when they're rude jerks.
Now,
he's a nice guy, so
real
he
quick,
deserves it.
Line 3 wants to tell you about how he called Mark Szymanski, and Mark Szymanski said, I'd rather meet you out there before I come out to give a bid with your adjuster. I'll get you more money. He has a problem with this. Is that a problem?
Yeah, I don't want it either.
Do you want him to come on the air?
I mean, he can trust Mark. I mean,
my point is, do you want to talk to him?
Sure, if he wants to. Does
Yeah.
he want to go on the air?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to give you a heads up so you had
Oh,
a
great,
sense of
great.
what he was going to say.
Yeah. What's really weird is that I wouldn't care because it's Mark and I know him, but the general rule is stands.
Mark was in here once and the same thing happened. He says, tell the guy to call again. I told him that. And I'll go ahead and give him a bid. But he
They're just so fucking busy. They just don't want to do it. Right. And I don't know if we can literally argue with that. Right. So it's just
We
like...
can't. It's whatever he wants.
If he was slow and had people twiddling
There's
thumbs,
nothing
he'd send
wrong
them
with
out.
it. I don't want to do business that way.
Yeah.
Except I would with him, which is weird, or with Excel, because they're mine. But
you should see this guy at Genesis Capital Ventures. He looks exactly like Centeno Schultz.
okay, Mark, you really have to handle this. This is terrible. Art of Granite.
Send it to him.
No, they just can't get a call back. Everyone's so damn busy.
Oh, where did you see it?
I'm sending it. No, it came into the station. Not to you, not to us.
I usually get those from Spence. That's weird.
Yeah, well, he always sends those to me. It's like,
I usually get, I get them all the fucking time.
the station feedback? Okay. This one wasn't double.
For family, for community, and for country.
Speaking of Granite, that guy that I'm supposed to look at,
Yeah.
he's gone all this week, so.
Midnight Granite?
Yeah, midnight, 8:15.
This guy, he's got to be there. Granite looks bad at 6:30 at night.
He changed it.
Oh, yeah.
It looks bad between 8 and 8:15 now.
Oh, okay.
Why would you even talk about it?
Yeah, it's getting short.
Well, because somebody.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Wink and Wink are bankruptcy attorneys. Gigi was in with us yesterday talking about bankruptcy, and we had a question. And they want to know, can you buy a house after a bankruptcy? How long do you have to wait? There is no official time of waiting. It's whatever a lender will do. But most of the time they say 2 full years. And Wink and Wink, they're happy to answer questions like this, just so you know. They're good people, and they're ready to answer questions, even if you did not file with them or are not filing with them. That's how good they are. Everyone on my referral list takes that pledge to answer questions. 303-410-1720. 410-1720, winkandwink.com. Dr. Mike Hederscheit today is our guest. He's a chiropractor with Bright Light Chiropractic, and the website is brightenyourfamily.com. So, Dr. Mike, I imagine you've learned that being part of the network here, the Troubleshooter Network and referralist.com, you get questions sometimes, just questions, right? Because that's what people have come to expect. Have you gotten that?
Just questions in general.
Have you or not? Maybe not. About chiropractic, has anyone ever called and said, hey, I noticed that you're on your list, or Tom talks about you. What about this, or what about that? Does anyone ever have a general question?
I get some general questions most of the time when someone calls from your list, though. They're looking at coming in to see me.
Right. That's good. Yeah. Now, next question. When it comes to chiropractic, are we getting anyone in that has never used chiropractic before and trying it?
Yeah, a good amount of people have tried every single thing possible,
but not
besides chiropractic.
Oh, cool.
And so when they call in, they hear me on the referral list and on the show. And
I would love that. I would love to know of someone who never used chiropractic before and found relief. That would be wonderful if we could talk to someone. Of course, you got to ask their permission. And I would love to just talk to them. Okay, so this is a very serious problem here. Robert, man, your dad, this happened to your dad, right?
Yeah.
And what happened?
My mom and him were at home. He was walking around the house, like bumping into the butt end of doors.
Oh, this was in the house.
He was kind of confused. My mom knew there was something wrong and told him to go to the hospital. He said he didn't need to go, but he wasn't all there. He called an ambulance. The ambulance and fire department showed up. They couldn't find anything wrong with him. My mom kept telling them there was something wrong with him. They left after telling her, do you just want him to go to the hospital?
So he actually had EMTs at the house.
We had EMT and the fire department.
Wow. Then what?
Then they left. About a half hour later, he said he's going to go to the Safeway and get some cocoa. He went about a half block down the street and drove into a parked car. Then the police came. They brought him back home, gave him a careless driving ticket, and parked the truck back in front of the house.
It is careless driving, right?
Yeah. So then, but my mom told him again, there's something wrong with him today.
Which, by the way, insurance is not going to cover. But
okay.
Insurance will not cover if it's a medical problem. They're not going to cover it. They're going to say, we had a guy one time have a heart attack. He ran into someone and killed them. The family not only could not collect, the insurance company wouldn't even cover it. They said, we're not covering it. It wasn't negligence. And guess what? It wasn't. Now, if he had known he had a heart problem and he was told not to drive, then you have negligence. This is just a side note for people listening. I always brag about the show. We love educating as well. So what happened then, Robert? Okay, he's at home and he got careless driving. Then what?
They parked the truck in front of the house, but it wasn't parked right. So about an hour later, my dad said he's going to go park it closer to the curb. He backs into another vehicle, drives up on the grass because he's confused.
Had he been drinking at all? I'm not asking if he was intoxicated. Did he have an ounce of liquor?
Nothing. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. He's
okay, then what happened? Then what happened?
Then the police were called again. They came back, decided to take him to the hospital to test him for drugs and alcohol. He's 75. They couldn't get blood from him. They tried to get a urine test, and he couldn't go to the restroom. They told him they would come back if they called him, called the police, come back. He's still kind of confused. He doesn't give him a urine test before he leaves. They come back, charge him with DUI. He goes to court, asks for a pretrial conference, thinking that these people would be able to give him some kind of help, tell him what happened. Then they convict him of the DUI.
So was he had a stroke this entire, he's in stroke the whole time.
Then, let me tell you, finish the story.
How much time, no, I just need to know a few things.
Okay.
How much time from the first day there, those tickets, to this day in court?
I would say 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, then what? Go ahead.
And nobody knew he had a stroke.
No, I understand.
Following this, about a month after this originally started.
Well, hold on. You didn't tell me what happened in the pretrial. Did he plead?
He was convicted. He pled guilty. They gave him like 52 drug and alcohol classes, 6 months probation.
Yeah.
And then he had a full-blown stroke about a month after this whole thing started. The doctor did the MRI and found another smaller blood clot and told my mother that it looks like he had a smaller stroke in recent history, and we're like, yes, April 18th.
So what do you want? What do you want? What do you want done?
That's what I'm asking you. Is there negligence, or the fact that they were just pursuing him for
not at all.
Charges?
Not at all. He didn't even know it. How could it be negligence? I mean, come on. You don't mean that. I thought you were going to ask, can he get the ticket reversed? Of course he can.
That's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing. We tried to write a letter to the judge.
You don't write a letter. You get an attorney and you file a motion. I mean, you don't write a letter.
Yeah.
You hire an attorney.
Joseph A. Lazera.
Now, is Joe around, Suzanne? Did you text him?
Yes, I hadn't heard back. Let me try again.
Okay, here's the deal. If if you have a medical expert saying it's most likely he had a stroke and he wasn't drinking, they don't have any blood evidence, here's the biggest problem. Technically, it would have been easier to get it overturned if he didn't plead guilty. He pled guilty. It's almost impossible to renege on that, even if he didn't do it. Because he had no reason to do it. He could have said, look, I was not drinking. Why would anyone plead guilty to something? I mean, if you were drinking even one glass, I would say, okay. But when he knew in his heart he hadn't touched a drop of alcohol, But I'm thinking that must not be true, because unless he's stupid, why? And I don't mean stupid. I shouldn't use that. Why would he do it? Why would he do it? If he didn't have a drop of alcohol, Robert, why would he plead guilty?
I think it's just because his unfamiliarity with the court system.
Okay, could be.
He thought to talk to the district attorney.
So did he lose his license? Did he lose his license?
Then they removed his license, yes.
Well, he should lose his license anyway. So really, the only thing he's going to get out of is a conviction on his record, and he's, oh, I got to take this break. I'm really late. He's going to get out of that conviction, and maybe the classes, but that's about it. Now, let's talk to Ideal Home Loans. Brent Ivinson, we're talking about VA loans. I talked to a guy the other day, and he wants to know, is a VA loan 100%? And then tell me what else you have to say about them.
Well, absolutely. So here's the thing. Whether you're buying or refinancing, if you're using the VA home loan benefit, you can finance 100% of the price or the current value of the home, all with no monthly mortgage insurance premium. So,
wow.
And here's the other great thing. VA loans are some of the best interest rates in the industry. It is a fantastic product for a number of people. The other big misnomer that's out there, Tom, a lot of veterans think it's a one and done. That's not the case. You can use it again and again. Call us to find out. I've been doing this for 20 years. This is one of the best products we have in our industry, one of the most competitive products, and one of the most beneficial products to the consumer out there.
You know, that is great news, the part about no private mortgage insurance, and you get 100% loan to value. 303-867-7000. That's 867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com.
This is unbelievable news. No private mortgage insurance for vets. Did you? I didn't know that. What's that?
I didn't believe the son didn't go with him to that court.
But here's the deal, though. No one knew what was wrong at the time he pleaded guilty.
Right, but if they don't have any evidence, how do you get a DUI? You can get a. I tell you what, the court system is fucked.
We need.
Why didn't they try to do a breath test?
What was the name of that used car dealer in Parker, the big one?
TSG?
What are they doing?
What do you mean?
Do they want to do something or not?
No, they had a big problem with iHeart.
Oh, why? Oh, why? I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't know this either, but at one point,
A while ago, or?
It wasn't too long ago. At one point, they were promised X amount of sales a month. I have never fucking heard this before.
Never.
And it wasn't even fucking close, but they literally had it in writing, and then there was an issue. I mean, it was fucking
Did Jeremy
crazy.
know about this?
He's the one that told me about it.
So
him and I are going to go out and talk to him at some point.
Well, did iHeart not come through?
Yeah, not even close. I've never heard of that. Have you ever heard of someone guaranteeing that many sales? Not leads, sales. How do you even do that?
Yeah, because it all depends on how they handle it.
That's my whole point. I never heard of anything like it. But he's the one that told it to me, straight up.
Jeremy confirmed it.
Jeremy told me about it like 2 weeks ago. He confirmed to me what the issue was.
To make it right, they would have to what? Make up for the past?
I assume so.
How many?
But they're really pissed at him, too. That's the other part.
Who was the sales rep?
I don't know.
They're pissed because they never came through. I mean, with the guarantee. The guarantee was what? Or you don't pay, or you get more spots, or what?
I don't know. He didn't go into the whole program with me, but it's some program that iHeart has. So I think basically what they're saying is, because they're a used car salesperson, they will send employees that work here, other people, and they guaranteed them 15 sales. And it didn't even come close to that. I don't know if it had any effect on what they pay. I don't know. But it's the first time I ever heard of anything like it out of this building. Because I'm like you, the first thing I think is, well, if they slap someone in the face when they walk through the door, they'll never sell anything.
Yeah,
you can send them 100 people, not one are going to buy.
You can never get a guarantee on sale. Never get a guarantee.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Even leads, you can't always get a guarantee on the number of leads.
No. Unless they're bullshit leads. What's that?
Our public
has always been how people handle leaks.
Yeah, but the good companies, my favorite example is Simply Floors. Compared to, who was it, Paragon or Paradigm, whatever. We looked at those call records, they were getting 30, 40 calls, but all they would do is try to sell the most expensive shit in the world.
But they had the most cumbersome process.
The whole thing sucked, man.
And the most terrible prices.
They weren't bad people, but man, they had no idea what they were doing.
They still don't. They go from, it's like one thing to another.
Remember the last thing they did? They hired good-looking women to go sell to contractors.
Right.
They literally went to, no, they went, I'm not kidding.
Somebody told them that.
No, this,
that's right, Dan. The next day they do it.
This guy travels around teaching flooring people what to do to get into the new flooring business. Yeah. And the biggest thing they do is they tell you exactly what age, what sex, and who to hire. And then you send them out with the contractors, the construction guys, and they're your salespeople. But they put on a whole show how to do it. And that was what their next one was.
They put this whole seminar on.
It's a whole seminar.
You pay them a couple $1,000.
They paid about $2,000 to go to the seminar.
They just tell you to hire an attractive female to
That's
do
it.
salesperson.
And then who to target, though. So they tell you who to target. Like, you go to KB Homes, you go to these places, you find this exact person, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was fucking borderline, like, weird, man.
Well, they just came off a big
borderline pimping conference.
Yeah. It is. It's not like, I don't want to say anything negative about those women because,
What are you negative?
It's just weird.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for your garage doors. Think one. One Clear Choice. That's it. You have a garage door problem, One Clear Choice Doors. Somebody called this morning, I guess, Mark. They were asking about One Clear Choice Doors special Martino inspection. You know, that's for a lubrication, a tune-up adjustment, safety adjustments, and, you know, make sure it doesn't press down too hard before it reverses, and hinge bolt tightening and all of that. And they do that only for people who mention Martino, and they get a free inspection because they want to be a garage door company. There's no secret. They hope when you have a problem, you'll call them. 303-713-8255. So we're going to take this problem off the air about the stroke because there's nothing we can do right now. The guy already pleaded guilty. The doctor surmises he had a stroke earlier. See, that's not even for certain, but what happens? I think there is an appeal process. It's not actually an appeal. It's a reconsideration, but I don't know if too much time passed. So this is all what we have to find out. So, Robert, one last question for our attorney that we will give this to. From the time he was convicted to the time he found out it could have been a stroke, how much time elapsed?
I would say 2 to 3 weeks.
And then, from that time till now is how long?
Another month and a half, maybe, about a month.
Okay. So it's all pretty current. Thank you. Now, hold on. Suzanne's going to get your contact. We got a comment on Genesis Total Exteriors from Norm. Go ahead, Norm.
Hello, Tom. I took your advice, and I actually contacted 3 of the roofers on your troubleshooter list.
Okay. Your phone is cutting out, but go ahead.
I contacted Genesis.
Genesis? Yeah, Genesis.
Kate Roofing.
Yep.
They're on your list too, and XL.
Yep. XL, right.
XL and Kate came out and gave me estimates.
Excellent.
Genesis, the gentleman did not want to come out. He wanted to meet the roofer on my location.
You don't mean meet the roofer. He is a roofer. You mean
meet the insurance adjuster.
Okay. All right. And so that's why you're shopping, because you went with the ones that would come out there and give you the estimate without meeting with the adjuster. Right?
Who'd you end up going with?
Well, Genesis would not come out.
Right. So you did what you're supposed to do. You shopped. You found someone who will not do what you wanted and therefore chose someone else. That's exactly what's supposed to happen.
No, you're not understanding me. Genesis wanted to meet the adjuster.
I understand that. And I recommend that people shop around and that they use roofers who will come out and give them a full estimate and not first meet with the adjuster. You did exactly what I told you. You called roofers and you decided not to use Genesis because they would not do that.
I have not used any. I have not even got it done yet.
Okay, but you're doing what you're supposed to do. I got to figure out what your point is.
I have no idea
Tell
what
him
the
to
point
hang on, please. I want him to hang on so he doesn't think I cut him short.
No, he wants to bitch about.
No, but here's the
We
deal.
know he wants to bitch about Genesis.
But it is. I want to make it clear there is nothing morally wrong with that. It is exactly what consumers.
If he wasn't that busy, I guarantee Mark would go out and meet him.
Exactly. And if 100 people say they want that, he's good. That's what the market's about. That's what I need people to know. I'm not a dictator.
Ask him if he's ever.
You're not a dick.
Tater.
You're a tater.
You're a tater. Oh, I gotta hit the building department after the show.
The building department.
Yeah, I gotta go pull my permit, man. I'm meeting with
Family member we know.
Oh, you know who's coming out? Is Scott,
The plaque strokes, though.
the excavator. How the hell did you meet him anyhow?
He's been.
I know I've asked you this
He's
before.
the boyfriend of
Been in
a good friend of ours.
About 8 times in the last 2 months.
Okay. Oh,
He's in there.
still?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Really,
Yeah, no, I got you.
really great guy. He had.
Like, I know it's going to happen.
He had cancer. He was taken care of by this nurse. This nurse and him got together.
So they
She
take
took
them
care of
away,
him.
or
And
no, it is.
Look at him now.
No, I know. I think with
Big
I
time.
think with seizures or
With
some
her.
seizures,
Yeah.
you have
She
the
has
right
a fall.
hold
And
on
he's
to
taking
drive
care of
to
her.
drive,
And she's
knowing
paralyzed.
that if you have
Oh,
like
she's in a
one,
wheelchair.
it's like your responsibility.
they're
But they don't take. I don't think they take.
I heard this story. Is she
I
okay?
don't know exactly.
She's thriving very well.
Will she ever get out of the chair?
You know what? Just now,
Yeah.
she's got the
Yeah,
feeling
there's
it's
some
coming
different
back,
ones.
and the
It's
nerve
just
doctor is going to
Yeah,
do
these are
surgery,
some
and it looks like,
that's in the
we
building.
don't know, but it looks like
Not
she's
like
making
a-
progress.
That's
More
a
so.
crazy
A
story.
couple different plaques would be.
I remember that. That was
Alzheimer's
last
kind of
year.
plaquing.
Then
There's
we're
also,
gonna drink and listen to
multiple
the.
sclerosis is kind of
I don't know.
degenerate.
Yes, I don't know what
Yeah,
it is.
drink heavily if
There doesn't
they go
seem to be
down.
any treatment for it.
Yeah.
Or do you drink heavily if they go up?
Well,
Or both.
you win.
It's not like blood, they do clot busters,
Sure.
things like that, but there doesn't seem to be any treatment for it, but God, he's scaring me.
This is going to be a weird one, man.
I know it's gonna be.
What do you think?
They also
You're
have-
sticking. He's sticking.
They
my
hospital
eye.
has no insurance. He lives
I'm
in
sticking, he says. Doesn't matter if it's in your eye. Who gives a
American
shit?
living in the Philippines, he has to come back
I'm
here
long
so
term.
often because they don't let him stay.
You better hope they don't run out of sand.
Visa or something.
Mr. Long Term.
So,
Someone was in the other day saying it had to be a certain kind of sand.
No, Clint was talking.
Or a
about
certain shape.
Round. They
Yeah.
want the roundest.
can't be sharp sand. Sharp
Why?
sand.
Because
Sharp sand is used in masonry because it has flats to stick the concrete to, like when they trowel. But
Why wouldn't you use it for this?
Because it's got better, the packing ability allows the permeability of the oil to through the
Sharp sand
flow
packs together
through
tight.
there
Better.
better.
yeah, if you got a whole bunch of balls that you get between it, you've got big balls. It'll.
Yeah. And they all want the same shape, the same size, the same shape.
Oh, so you're telling me every grain's the exact same?
Exactly.
I thought
Otherwise,
no grain
they're like-
was the
They're
same.
unlike snowflakes.
Yeah.
They screen it to that size, right?
Right,
Everybody's
right,
a snowflake.
I think the management's really good.
Why have they, why did they quit using the ceramic beads too expensive?
Yeah.
According to Kramer, there's a big red flag hanging out there, though, buddy.
What's that?
10 times higher.
Oh, 10 times higher.
At least.
Big red flag.
So in the very deep wells where they need the high compressive strength of it, that's where they use that.
Okay.
Ceramic. So if you want to look at a ceramic company, use this Carbo. Is a ceramic company that's went down here. I'll need to show you this here.
Their stock's probably going down if you're.
Well, it's going up now, but you should see it's like it's 10 years.
Did it take up down? Oh, because of the finding the beach sand. So
Went down from 150, now it's like $8.
Oh, what? Jesus.
Carbo. They do the ceramic. They talk about
Ceramic
the
beads
ceramic.
instead of the.
And so when this stuff got cheap, when oil got cheap, people didn't want to pay these high prices of this high proppant, it's called. If it's sand or if it's whatever, it's called proppant.
In fracking, when they high pressure fracture the thing, they pump this either beads or whatever to hold the cracks open so stuff will flow back.
equity should use that money to short Tesla.
Watch the numbers. Watch Tesla's numbers, not Elon Musk's mouth. They say the same shit about Trump. Watch what he's doing, not what the fuck he's saying.
Because he really had a call last time.
Oh, I know. They thought he was being erratic. They said basically he was nuts. Elon Musk.
I don't know. You guys,
when is there?
Going in and out on the sand, or just bought and holding, or what?
I bought in January. I'm way over in the sand stuff. Just because they're gonna.
He's buried in the sand.
They're gonna keep on fracking until oil goes down below $50. So.
I can't believe what.
And almost all these sand guys, every $5 they average for the previous quarter, they get another. Like say if oil goes from 60 to 65, they average more. They get an extra jump on their sand. These contracts, they've all got built escalation clauses in the contracts.
Wow, no wonder.
Yeah, but what do you think the numbers will be today? What is it, 76? What are you guessing?
80.
80?
Do you think a lot of it's because? Do you think a lot of it too is because they're getting the sand right there in the Permian Basin right now?
Well, they were the first ones to buy a sand mine.
Yeah, but having it right next to
they're
where
going to come out
using it.
You suckers should have known after we said 75 cents a share.
Listen to Kramer.
Red flag, baby.
Pigs get slaughtered.
It should be around. Help me get my feet back.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What is going on in your life? How can we help you? This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I love Frank, and I love his team. And Frank is basically such a good guy. People call us to tell us what a great experience they had on both sides of the transaction. If you're looking to buy real estate, you can't do better than a broker like Frank to find that stuff right when it hits the market, sometimes before it hits the market, or stuff that he is listing where he gives special deals on commissions to save everybody money. If he has both sides of the transaction, he also, of course, will help you sell your property. He's helped me. He's helped Mark and Suzanne and everyone we know. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. And it's really an experience you have to have. Now, we talk about shopping around even on the referral list because you never know what you will run across. And I give recommendations that I stick by. And by the way, Frank Duran, his number is 303-920-1622. 920-1622. For example, I say no big money down. You pay when work begins or when materials are delivered. Never pay just to pay. Or when custom things are ordered, you can pay and you can prove that it was ordered. Here's the deal, though, and this is what's weird. Even though I give that advice, there are people I trust that if they wanted money down, I'd give it to them. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying I know them, and they're on my referral list. I just trust them, and I would do it because I trust them. It doesn't mean you have to do it. Then I give guidelines on shopping and doing things. For example, when it comes to roofing, I have always said this. I said, first, call the insurance. If you know you have damage, you got to figure out you got damage. Now, I don't care really if you call a roofer first or an adjuster first. I just don't want them comparing notes together the first time. What I want is I want the contractor to tell me what I need and what it will cost. Why? I want to know. And the roofer works for me. Then the adjuster, either first or second, does the same thing. Then I know if the insurance company is trying to short me. And instead of them getting together, making a private deal. In other words, if the roofer and the adjuster get together and the roofer thinks you need a lot more and the adjuster says, no way, man, you take it or leave it, and the roofer says, okay, I'll take it, you never know what you were screwed out of. I just like it to keep it that way. Then the roofer can fight with the adjuster for what I need. Norm said he was shopping on my referral list with 3 roofers. 2 of them, and by the way, Genesis is more than roofing. He also does, siding and windows, and he does home improvements inside as well. But Norm said, to make a long story short, Norm said he called 3 roofers. One of them was Genesis. He called the other 2. They gave him estimates But Genesis would not come out. Genesis said, we want to meet the insurance adjuster on site. And that is the way Genesis does it. Now, if it was me and I was using Genesis because I know him, I wouldn't have a problem with that. However, in general, I give this advice. Don't do it. Why? Because I want people to tell me what I need and fight for me. I know that Mark Szymanski or anybody at his place would do that. However, I'm still telling you that I can't individually select when to do it and when not to do it. So Norm called to tell me that Genesis would not go out and do that. So I said, great, you did exactly what I told you to do. You shopped, even when it comes to the referral list, and you made up your mind who you're going to make up your mind based on what you found. So I'm not sure why Norm keeps emphasizing that Genesis would not do that. Genesis will live or die by how it does business. I don't think it's wrong to refuse to come out. They can do that. That's up to them. Here's what's really happening. These roofers are so damn busy, they're saying to themselves, you know what, I'd rather get it done in one step, meet the adjuster, and get the thing done. They don't all think, oh, let's screw the consumer out of stuff and not let them know. Some of them do. But I think some people are just so busy, they have chosen to only do it this way. There's no law against it. It's not even unethical. It's just something I would not do. So, Norm, having said all of that, and I said this the first time you mentioned it in the previous hour, are there any questions or concerns?
No, Tom, you answered your explanation just now.
Okay,
was perfect.
you know that because
so
that's in other words, if you were thinking, and I do appreciate this, Norm, I really do appreciate feedback, because you might have been thinking, oh, I don't think Tom knows this. He better find out because, you know, he promotes these people. You're absolutely right. I do appreciate feedback. But you see, there are some cases where I don't agree with everyone on my referral list, but they're still great people. I mean, you know what I mean? I just don't, I want to see a certain procedure followed. There might be, and I don't know this, but there might be, for example, there might be a referral list member who says, I want half down. I don't prohibit it, I just wouldn't do it. Now, if they order something custom, you know, that's, I gave you the exceptions. I don't have to repeat that. But here's the thing. On the referral list, there is a place where I talk about, Mark, one of the pages talks about when you do give money down, here's how to protect yourself.
Yeah, use a credit card.
Use
There's
a credit card,
ways.
an escrow account, or you do certain things and do it that way. And again, it's not a requirement. I can't tell people how to do business. But here's what I do. I give the guidelines, then I have a list of really reputable people. If those reputable people don't follow all of my recommendations, so long as no one gets hurt, it doesn't bother me at all. And that's why I would do it. I would do it differently if I'm working with people I know. If they wanted half down, I would do it. I mean, but I do that on a case-by-case basis, not based on someone knocking at my door and not based on someone promising me something. So I just want you to see, I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth. I am telling you the complete truth. I will break protocol for people that I personally know. You know, for example, if you know someone, and it truly is. I mean, it's like your wife has a business, or your mother or somebody. You may break protocol, but in general, I tell people how I want to see things done. Here's what I suspect, and Mark mentioned this: if things are not that busy in a few months or in a year or so, and 100 people or 50 people call Mark Szymanski at Genesis and says, "Would you come out and give me an estimate?" and it's not that busy, what'll happen? The market will dictate that he bend to that pressure. But he's not doing anything wrong. 303-713-TALK. Christina has a problem with a window installer. What is going on, Christina?
Yes, I had a window installer that we contracted with. I was helping my son who had a traumatic brain injury. They were supposed to install the windows back in April, and we've since had 4 different installation dates. He's missed every single one of them. He said I sent him emails and texts regarding...
Where did you, well, first, let me say this. First, your son.
Yes.
How is your son doing? Is it your son, you said?
Yes. He's doing better. He had an injury in 15. He had 2 traumatic brain injuries and 3 surgeries.
How is he doing right now? I mean, good?
He's doing as well as can be expected. He lost all peripheral vision and some other things, so as well as can be expected.
How old is he?
He's 30.
30, okay.
So, he's retired.
Is he disabled?
No. He is. He's 100% disabled. They classified him that through VA just a couple weeks ago.
I'm just curious. Does chiropractic help relieve any of the symptoms for traumatic brain injuries? Have you ever, or is it something that you've never dealt with? I'm just curious. Dr. Mike Hederscheid is our guest today from Bright Light Chiropractic. What do you think?
Yeah, for traumatic brain injuries, the first thing is to make sure it's safe to adjust them. That's the biggest thing. But then after that, I've gotten amazing results for people that have had head injuries.
How about strokes? We had a guy with a stroke the other hour. How about strokes?
Strokes, I haven't had a whole lot of experience with somebody post-stroke, but mostly if it's an injury, like they hit their head or they had some combustion from being in war. I've seen great results from that.
So anyway, let's go back to your problem now. How much have you... Well, first of all, how did you find the company? And I'm not going to scold you. How did you find the company?
No, it was... Unfortunately, he had a claim through Farmers Insurance, and he had a friend who was a firefighter. So he went originally through the friend that was going to do it, and then the friend didn't end up getting it done. So this other company was going to help with the windows. So the refund... My son didn't realize you weren't supposed to pay everybody.
Oh, you're calling for your son right now? Is this your son's house or something?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. You're calling for him, so I can't scold you too much. Your son picked it through a friend of a friend of a friend, right?
Yes, and unfortunately, I think they took advantage because of his brain injury, but that's another issue. But that's where I think it's led us to this point.
Okay, now you have... How much did your son pay? Total.
He paid... just for the windows alone, just over $3,800.
But is that all he has paid out of pocket right now to this company? How much total?
Yes, to this company, because the first company was paid the rest of the money.
What do you mean the rest of the money?
So he had a claim for roofing and windows.
Oh, but that was done. Let me get this straight. The total out of pocket total was $38 plus what? What was the previous payment? Was the previous payment made and work done? Is that complete? We're not talking about a dime of that money. Is that right?
Kind of. So
see, Christina, do you see why I'm asking how much? If I ask these questions, I promise you I'll get to the bottom of it. Total money your son paid, total. How much did he pay out?
It was $15,000 or $16,000.
How much work of that $15,000 or $16,000 in writing, how much work is not done?
So from the original, the $3,800, which was then given to the second company.
Gotcha. $3,800, and what about the rest of the money? Was that work done?
Yes.
Oh, good. Now, $3,800 from the original. This original company that had some, how much was their bid? You say $3,800 was left. How much was that part of the contract?
It was part of, I think, $15,000 or $16,000 of the contract.
Yeah, but you told me, you said $3,800 was not done, right?
Yes, their first contractor put in the bid for, say, $15,000 or $16,000.
Okay, gotcha.
Of that, the roofing part was done.
Gotcha.
So then we subtracted the roofing amount.
Gotcha.
And what was still left that they were supposed to do, the first company, was the window.
Gotcha. That's the $3,800.
Yes.
How did they arrive? This is what I need to know. How did they arrive at $3,800?
Because my son, like you spoke earlier, inadvertently gave them the estimate from the insurance company. So they took that exact amount.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, how many windows did 38 represent, $3,800?
I think it was 10 windows and a sliding glass door, and 2 storm doors.
Okay, they were totally. He got screwed by the insurance on that one. Okay, there's no way you can do that for $3,800. But let's.
Well, no, that's just what we paid the guy. The second guy, he wanted a total of, I think, $7,000.
Okay, so but you only paid $3,800.
Yeah.
Toward that $7,000 job.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. When you paid the $38,000, he didn't do it, so then it went to the second company.
Yeah.
Now, was there a new contract with the second company?
Yeah.
And the new contract with the second company, brand new contract.
Yeah.
And he was given credit for $3,800.
Yes, because the other gentleman was there who gave us a check for the first company. All right,
so that's all I need to know. The new contract is for $7,000 for the windows.
Yeah.
And $3,800 is down.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the second company?
Larson Enterprises.
Okay. I am so sorry for doing this to people, but my God, it was so complicated. So $7,000, $3,800 paid, $3,200 is due. We'll find out the problem and get to the bottom of it, I promise you.
This report is brought to you by Express Employment Professional.
Didn't she say something about...
I wasn't reading it either. No. Fuzzy math.
15,000 and then 7,000.
All she had to say was, we have a contract for windows for $7,000, and they paid $3,500. Instead of this first contract was given to the second contract, which drives me crazy. What are you looking at, Mark?
That guy who you never answered.
Yeah.
Wow. He says Brownie answers all the time. How come Tom doesn't? Yeah, he did. So I emailed him back.
Not my guy, right?
I said email Tom. How come Brownie always answers me and you don't? I'll pay you lunch. He answers.
He said that. Hey, Clint, is this Russ? Remember that HOA with the sprinkler hitting the side of the house? Were you going to call the HOA?
I called the HOA.
Okay.
It was complicated as hell.
Okay.
There's 2 HOAs. There's an HOA for the thing. There's another HOA for the green belt. But anyway, all of them said sorry. And his homeowner's going to do it. So I sent him a thing back saying, he's going to cover this.
So Suzanne,
yeah, I had a few people. I had over a span of maybe a month or two where I saw like 3 or 4 kids that had traumatic brain injuries from sports, big accidents that they got their head hit, and then they went about 2 years with they couldn't focus. They were having migraines almost every day. We're talking about kids. And, after starting care in the office, one of the issues went away.
Oh, that's good.
That's crazy. Look at these credits that hit that quick. I sent this shit back to Amazon. I went on a little shopping spree during Amazon Day or whatever it's called.
Prime Day.
And, so I bought a lot of shit. I sent back maybe 10 things. They were literally picked up yesterday, and the credit's already there. I'm like, hard. That's crazy fast. Yeah, they're not even, there's no way those things are even back to Amazon.
They're going to start cutting you off. Because you send some of that back.
They might go out of business if they cut me off. I buy little teeny things on Amazon because I don't want to run to Walmart.
You know how big a bumper cover is?
Yeah.
My car. Guy's delivering a bumper
cover
yesterday.
Go.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Let's talk. Okay. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center can help you get rid of tinnitus forever. It can, forever. And that's called the Synchron. Now, it doesn't work on all tinnitus, but most of it. Then the other one is they have hearing aids that help with tinnitus as well. And that retrains and kind of masks. And it's great for the other kind of tinnitus. But here's the point. The only place you're going to find out this kind of information is at Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, who handles all forms of tinnitus and hearing loss, one or both. This Clarkson and Hamden address, this new place where the urgent care is, and they're on the 2nd floor, 3601 South Clarkson. What a beautiful office. Go see them. Plenty of parking, a beautiful facility, and Dr. Patty and Dr. Lisa, along with their new partner, Dr. Dagmar, they are just really helping so many people. 303-534-9797. 0163, helpforringing.com. Okay, Dr. Hederscheid, just really quickly, I asked everything. Bright Light Chiropractic, have you ever treated tinnitus?
So tinnitus is an interesting one, right? Depends where it's coming from. So,
but sometimes I imagine it could.
Sometimes it could help. Yeah, it just depends how much nerve damage is done. But
have you seen anyone with tinnitus?
Yeah, all the time. Mm-hmm.
It's because they've had an injury, and injuries have all kinds of problems.
Yeah, it just depends on what part of the chain of the ear it really comes from. If it's a brain thing or if it's coming from the ear itself.
Right, exactly. 303-713-8255. So, Christina, let's just get right to it. Her son, who's disabled, has a $7,000 contract for windows, $3,800 down. That's really what it boils down to. Okay, so where do we stand? Has any work been done on the window contract?
No. As far as I know, the only thing he's done is procured the windows, but I don't even know for sure if he's done that.
All right. Now, since this company, is it a company or is it a person? Did we discern that? Just the name. Is it a company, a real company I can go after, or is it a fireman doing it on his own? What is it?
He says he's Larson Enterprises, LLC.
Yeah,
so
but what really is it? What really is Larson?
It might be an individual.
Okay. This is really bad. This is really bad. I mean, this is a lot of money. I'm wondering if he procured the windows, then it seems to me he can get another $3,200 for installing them. Let's do some digging for you, okay, Christina? What is your son's first name?
Corey.
Corey? All right, hold on. Mr. Deputy Clint today. Now, you might think I don't mention Deputy Dan enough because I'm always giving stuff to Deputy Clint.
We've taken away his deputy badge.
Or what about Deputy Daff? They work, too, really hard. Deputy Dan, during the show, does a lot of the video and the video streaming and all of that. So that's why you don't hear me telling him during the show. But
he keeps me entertained.
He works plenty during behind the scenes. 303-713-8255. Susan, what's going on? Hi, Susan.
I have two questions.
Yes,
It regards the SEER on an AC unit.
SEER, right. That's a rating.
I wanted to find out if you or your listeners know of a website that consumers can go to that they can either plug in their model numbers for their coil and the model number for their condenser and see what the combined SEER value is.
Usually that's given in the data you're given on the product itself. They brag about their SEER rating.
There should be a metal plate on the side of it that has that.
I don't know if that's a SEER rating, though. That's BTUs, I think.
Well, what it says on the condenser is 15.5.
That's your BTUs, right? 15,000?
It says SEER.
Oh, it does.
And then but it says your air conditioner's efficiency rating may be better depending on the coil your contractor installs. So, that was my one question. How can a consumer, because apparently this comes up a lot. People see, they know they contracted for a particular SEER and they're expecting a rebate on a particular SEER, and then they look at their condenser and freak out because they see it doesn't match what they thought they contracted for. So the other question I had is, if you wanted your contractor to prove that these two combined equals that higher SEER, what would they give you?
Now, you understand SEER is not your, just so you know, it's not your cooling power, right?
It's the efficiency.
Right, that's all it is, efficiency.
As far as I know, SEER basically determines
how much cooling you get,
how
much cooling you get for each unit of energy.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because you can have one that freezes you out of the house with a very low SEER rating, but it uses a lot of energy. So.
Well, I just wanted to verify, through some external source.
When did you buy this system?
It was installed on Friday.
Okay.
And what's the issue? Do you think it's not working as well as it should?
No. Well, the initial issue was the rebate, because a 15 SEER doesn't get as much of a rebate as an 18.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Now, here's the deal, though. You mentioned what kind of depending. Hold on. You mentioned something about depending on the coil.
That's what it says on the label.
Well, usually the damn thing is they're paired. They're paired when you buy it. I mean, I don't understand. You don't buy them separately.
Yeah, I've heard of people just replacing like the coil.
Well, if you're replacing it, but she had a new system put in.
Everything was replaced.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And usually they do it as a unit. Let's get, hold on a sec. Suzanne, this is time for one of our HVAC experts. Hold on. We'll try to get you an answer, okay? 303-713-TALK. Hey, Chris. What's happening?
I'm just calling to see if my mom might have a case. This happened almost 2 years ago, but it just sits really wrong with all of us, what happened to her.
Now, I just want to say something. When you say have a case, just so you know, a case, everyone has a case. They have access, okay? Now,
right.
Okay. Then there are some legal things that preclude you from having a case at all, which is a statute of limitations and other things.
Right.
Other things like statutory exclusions, like, for example, equine activity, certain things. Okay? So there are so many things that preclude you or prevent you from having a suit that all I can tell you, and I will, is if I would pursue it. Okay? So keep going.
Okay. She was at home and she broke her back, a compression fracture. She thought...
How did she do that?
She was moving it involves a wasp and a heavy chair.
Mm-hmm.
she was moving the chair
and
back.
who gave her the diagnosis of a broken back?
Well...
Or is that part of the problem?
Well, no. They waited 2 days before she went to the hospital. She thought maybe she pinched a nerve or something. She was in terrible pain, but she's very stoic. She didn't want to cause a fuss. So my dad called an ambulance. She went to Lutheran. She was there for 4 days. She started rehab. They said the usual course of treatment was pain management and then rehabilitation.
Yeah, I would have been to a chiropractor, but that's me.
Yeah, well... Yeah, this.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
No. This has been an ongoing thing. But so she started physical therapy, and they were telling her that they would have her pick out a rehab facility.
Did they actually identify a bone that was broken?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was L1 or...
Was it actually the vertebrae that was actually broken?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it
all
compressed, and she was in terrible pain.
I'm not talking about the disc. I'm talking about the bone. Did it crack? Did it truly break? Okay.
Yes, it crushed.
All right, got it.
Yes.
Well, that's not a good. That's crushing denotes a disc. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but truly, so many people call disc problems a broken back. So the bone itself, it is broken. It is broken. Is that what you're saying?
It's
the
broken,
vertebrae.
yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
All right.
Eventually, she got a filler, an injection of filler.
That's for a disc. That's not for a broken. You can have a broken, let me give you an example. You can actually have a broken vertebrae that don't give you problems because you have great disc space, okay? Or you can have a terrible anatomy with no pain or hardly any pain at all, or you could have a great anatomy with a lot of pain. Dr. Hederscheit, you know what I'm trying to say, right? With the broken back, right? You understand what I'm saying with the broken vertebrae? I mean, for it to show a lot of bad symptoms, it has to involve nerves or circulation.
Right, yeah. A lot of times if the vertebrae itself is broken, people can go a long time without feeling any symptoms from that.
Okay,
it just depends on each case.
Okay, but when you said she had filler and you use the word crush and you use the word compress, that's all disc disease is what I'm saying. I'm not, there's a reason I'm saying this because I want to be accurate if you're asking me if I'd go for a malpractice suit or something. So truly though, if someone looked at the x-ray, they would say, here is a crack and that bone is broken.
Yes, there were pieces. When they showed the x-ray to my sister, there were pieces of bone. Yes.
And also, I imagine, because of the compression, she also had a disc problem as well.
Right,
okay,
right.
Gotcha.
That was involved as well, right.
So what's happening now?
Well, what happened was, they told her she'd be going to rehab, and she started the therapy. Well, they sent her home. And I was arguing with them that she could not go home because she lives on the second floor of an apartment building and she had no way to get in her home and she still couldn't walk. So,
that's a matter of medical opinion and insurance and all of that. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be hospitalized because of where you live. Sometimes people have to figure out where they're going to stay. It's not up to a hospital to put you up because you live on a second floor. You understand? In the pure
I understand that.
All right. Medically, should she have stayed there? That's the question.
Well, this was just the first week. She spent another 2 weeks in hospitals after this.
Okay, what happened? She went home. You felt it was too soon. Then what happened?
Well, and the physical therapist also said she should not be going home.
So who made the decision to send her home?
Well, a different doctor came on one day and saw that she was going to be released soon, but he left out the rehab facility part and told us she was going home, that there was no rehab facility that he was sending her to. And
so what did he do? He sent her home. Is he the one that discharged her?
He discharged her. She would not have gone home, except I had to go fill the the prescription for pain pills, because they don't give them to you. My dad, who has terminal cancer, another story, but he was home. He was taking a nap.
Well, hold on. So he went to the hospital, and what happened?
They said she was going home, so he drove the car up.
All right. So was she? This is a question. Was she officially discharged?
She was officially discharged from the hospital.
And went home.
And sat in the car until my brothers could get there, put her in a chair, and carry her up.
Okay, fine. Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, that's fine. Well, then 2 days later, she's still in terrible pain.
Of course.
Another trip to an ambulance, to
and then
St.
what?
Joseph's this time.
Uh-huh.
They discharged her after a week.
Okay.
To a rehab facility.
Okay.
And
you feel the first place should have sent her to rehab immediately?
Well, after they tried to get her pain managed, yes, they said that was the course of treatment, was rehabilitation.
But then when your father showed up, they just sent her home. Got it. So what happened then? The second time she was admitted, they discharged her to a rehab.
Right. She went to a different hospital.
So the first time she was discharged to go home, you felt was premature. The second time she was admitted, she was discharged to a rehab because it was a different hospital. Hold on. I promise you, we have it.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW and iHeartRadio.
You just Google the Zach's?
What's that?
Oh, it's Zach's.
Just put Google
Zach's rating.
will HCLP beat earnings?
Stocks are higher in afternoon trading on a report that the U.S. and China will return to trade discussions, while the technology sector is starting to bounce back after a 3-session.
So I understand that. So broke her back, got spinal surgery, and then they send her home. That's the kind of the order of what happened.
Well, I don't even know if she had surgery.
Okay, she said they filled the vertebrae or something.
Whatever happened, she's upset. I know she's upset because they sent her home without rehab. They sent her straight home. She was admitted again, and here's the problem with malpractice. First of all, no one will take that. No one. No one. I mean, malpractice has to be so bad that someone would look at it and say, holy shit, how could they have done that? That's why they call it malpractice. It's not questionable practice. It's malice practice. It's mal.
This is just the different opinions of her treatment.
That's
Now, I'll tell you this, though. If I had an infection for 1 year that wasn't treated properly, and I can make the argument it's way worse, and I hope it didn't involve your bone as a result, but I'm telling you, if you went to see them regularly and that fucking thing did not heal in a year, and now a new doctor says this should have been done, this should have been done, this should have been done, I'd be sincerely pissed off.
Luckily, they did a scan and an X-ray, and they said there is no bone involvement.
So it didn't worsen it. Yeah, well, you don't sue on what could have.
It's bigger. Someone down, but it did not get, well, it's bigger and deeper, but it still hasn't gotten to the bone.
But is it worse? Is it going to involve way more inconvenience? I mean, you've had a year. I would make a really big argument, unless it's a matter of opinion, but Jesus Christ, you've had this infection for a year. What made you go to someone else?
The fact that he hit 10 months of not getting better.
And this doctor said you should have been given radiation?
They won't come right out and say that. They ask if I've had these 6 tests. One was a culture to see if it had infection in it. There was 2 blood things, a major arterial blood flow, a micro arterial blood flow, a nerve test, and something else I can't remember. Oh, the X-ray. So they kept asking if I'd had any of that done to know what the treatment should be, and no, I've never had any testing done. So.
They have staph infection, you know what they thought it was?
I don't know yet. I got to go Thursday to find out whether they got the culture to know what it's.
See if they're going to go in and take it out.
Zach said it's going to
They
be
might go in there and remove it, or they might just use some
I think it could be. I don't know yet.
They're saying the upside of surprise, though, is
Yes, I'm not very happy that it's been on this damn.
No, but it
thing
says
for
right
10
there
months,
that their
better.
consensus estimate is 77.
I think they just simply made the assumption that the diabetic
76, so
symptoms
that might
were
be
causing
that.
it, and they never checked.
Well, so one things because I see people like lifetime. I see people for years and years and years. And anytime something comes up strange, I sit there and put my hands on it.
I think where everybody gets nervous is it's just had so much growth in a week or two. I mean, it's
Well, that and then that 75.
Yup.
That's right.
Yes,
They kept thinking it was West Nile virus. Well, making the town.
Kramer
We just pull a
fell.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Listen, we talked
To the window installer, bottom line is, and we'll go back to the other one too. Bottom line is this this disabled guy, and I say disabled because, you know, he was doing this all from home and stuff. And didn't she even say it was traumatic brain injury? And, you know, so he makes this contract for $7,000 for Windows, puts $3,800 down. This is the second guy he dealt with. The first guy did not finish this part of the contract. That's why he's with the second guy. He puts $3,800 down, and nothing's happening. And it's called Larson Enterprises. We don't know. Is this an individual who does it on his spare time, or is it a real company? Suzanne, you talked to him.
I spoke to Michael, the owner.
Michael, the owner of Larson Enterprises.
Yep, Michael Larson's
Good.
his name. He was
well,
very
then that's
nice.
good. Is he a fireman? Is that what he does, and he does this on his spare time? Or where did the fireman connection come in? Or am I dreaming that, Christina?
No, the fireman was the first contract.
Okay, all right. So what happened then, Suzanne? What did he say?
So I spoke with Michael. He said they've been on a really huge job for a huge house out in Parker. That's
Okay.
where the delay's been. He has her windows. He gave me two choices for her. One is that he would have them installed next week. He'll come out and install them, Christina. Or he can give you the windows. He cannot give you a refund because the windows were custom made. If you
I understand that completely.
You could have someone else install them, Christina. He said if you do that, though, that the warranty would be voided. But he'd be happy to get out there next week. He's just been hung up on a job.
Now, that sounds truthful to me. I don't know. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it isn't. It sounds truthful. Hey, I have the windows. I just can't get to it right now. You can have the windows, but if someone else does it, the warranty is voided. You see, if he was a crook, he wouldn't even have to say that. He would just say, look, you can have the windows and have someone else do it, but, you know, but if you do, you know, the warranty is voided. To me, that sounds like somebody, I don't know, you just didn't have to say that. And the fact that he said it, to me, rings genuine. Might not be, but I think so. And I'm thinking this, what's the downside of waiting just a little? I would say let's do it both ways. I want the windows, and then I'll wait. I want the windows now, but then I'll wait for you to install them a little until it seems unreasonable. I would say that. I would say get me the windows within a few days, and I'll wait 1 week. And if you can't do it, then I'll hire someone else. I mean, I think that's the best. That's what I would do, Christina.
Okay, and I know we have had multiple appointments where they've canceled due to their workload, so I feel I've been very...
and we're not asking for anything now except the windows, but I would want them in my possession and then wait, or not, for the installation, but then it puts you in the driver's seat. We also had a question about a SEER, or SEER, and that's basically a measurement of energy efficiency. How much energy do you put in for how much cooling you get out? And that's adjusted seasonally. That's why it stands for seasonally something. It's a SEER rating. All we know is this. If the number goes up, the rating is better. The rating, okay? So Todd Terry is with Apple Air. Apple Heating and Air, is it? Right. I should know you, Todd, for after all
Just
these
Apple
years.
Air.
Apple Air, yeah. But he does you do plumbing too, right? Or you did, Todd. Do you do plumbing?
We do plumbing and electrical, yep.
So you do it all, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
So Apple's on and talking about this SEER rating, and basically she wanted to know, is she getting the SEER's promise? Because, let me get her up here, Suzanne, as I understand it, you read where the SEER unit could be affected by the coil the unit is paired with. Is that right?
Yeah, the big yellow label on the condenser says 15.5 with an asterisk saying your air conditioner's efficiency rating may be better depending on the coil your contractor installed.
Now, I always thought, Todd, that the coil and the condenser are paired by the manufacturer. Is that right or wrong?
It's not correct.
So when you install a new air conditioning system, you can choose different coils. In other words, you buy the air conditioner, but you can put different coils in. It's not the same coil as the AC.
That is correct. And some of the coil, it gets a little confusing. Some of the coils are more efficient than other coils. Yep.
So someone could give you misleading information by giving you a pretty good sear with the AC, but when it comes to the coil, it's not so good and could actually cut down on that, right?
It can. We see it all the time. Somebody will put in a 16 sear condenser outside, but it's a basic, inefficient, or standard coil inside.
Wow, this is good information, Todd. I never knew that. So they can give a false impression, and obviously they could charge for the high efficiency, but save money on the cheap coil inside.
They sure could.
How much would they? How much would the place actually save by doing
Folks,
that?
you see, you do get educated on the troubleshooting.
I mean, are coils that different between a cheap one and an expensive one, Todd?
It's not. I mean, we're talking, 150 to 250
Well, why would somebody
bucks.
do it? Why would somebody do it?
Well, to the defense of some people, some contractors aren't educated enough to even know the difference. They see one coil's, $150 cheaper, but they don't really know the impact that it has on the whole system.
Good question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, one of the questions I had is, I sent in an email to Train asking them, I gave them the model number of the coil, I gave them the model number of the condenser.
Yeah, so we get it. You didn't get the information. She wants to know, is there an easy place you can insert the name of the condenser and the name or model or size and also the name of the coil, and boom, it shoots out a SEER rating?
There is.
There is? Come on now. That you can actually do that, and as a contractor, you would have access to that. Do consumers have access to it, or do you have to have a login?
You can try going to the AHRI.
Wait. What is it?
AHRI.
So it's Alpha Hotel Romeo India, right?
That is correct.
Okay, Alpha Hotel. Yes. Who said Tom? Somebody called me.
I said .com.
Oh, .com. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, .com. So.
I don't think that's it.
No.
Then my other question is, if I wanted him to prove that those two units equal 18 SEER.
Well, where is 18 SEER? Where is 18 SEER? Where is it noted? On the contract?
Well, it's not noted on the contract.
Well, where were you told 18 SEER? You didn't pull it out of your head, did you?
When we were looking at products, you had a choice of the variable speed.
Did you demand 18 SEER? That's all I need to know.
We thought we were buying 18
But
SEER.
why?
We didn't even realize
it's not reasonable to say that and to put that on a contractor just because you thought
what I'm
it.
saying is, when we looked at the brochure, it had 18 SEER in a circle. And I made a comment about, so we're going from a 13 SEER to an 18 SEER.
Okay.
And
it has a 15.5 on the condenser. What I want to ask you is this, Todd. Can a coil boost SEER that much? By 3 points.
Not by 3.
2.5.
Well, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
can it boost by 2.5?
That a lot of people don't understand is variable speed. That's your motor on the furnace can boost it 1.
Yeah, I don't have variable speed. I have a 2-stage.
Okay, but I'm asking again: is there a coil that can boost SEER by 2.5?
Very rare.
So most likely she is not getting 18 SEER. But here's the bad news: I can't fight for you to get 18 SEER if you don't have it written somewhere in your contract.
Well, the coil's a 3.5 ton. When I looked up the model number.
But I'm just saying, what is this an exercise in? Why are we doing this, Susan? If you find out your total SEER is 16 or 13 or 18, you don't have a contract specifying SEER. Tell me where I'm wrong.
This report is brought to you by Express Employment Professionals.
For a rebate, we're jousting windmill. Oh, they didn't have a certain SEER rating, she doesn't get the rebate.
I wonder if they promised him the rebate.
Yeah, or I think the rebate's variable on,
of course,
on the SEER. Yeah.
I've got my 96 or 97% efficiency.
That's furnace.
It's variable.
I got a 20.
And I keep mine on all the time. My fan constantly.
Well, and the jury's out on that. Some people swear by that, others say no. I think it's better for the house environment no matter what, so I don't give a shit if it's a little more. But other people say that's why they're automatic, especially if you have a variable speed.
Yeah. It'll go. Generally, it's running at 5%.
Okay, and you leave it on all the time. In that case, that would be an argument to keep it on.
Oh, it's awesome.
But there are some
you can't even hear it. Now, if it kicks
you
up,
Google it, Mark, there are so many people against it.
Well, if it wasn't variable, it'd be fucking loud. I mean, our old furnace was loud.
My dad literally turns it off when he leaves the room.
God, he turns what off?
And he's costing himself a lot of money.
I know.
A lot of money.
Yeah, but see, he's just looking at.
What do you keep your AC at?
That's just your old.
It was the growing depression era.
74.
Just like in a car,
Or
you wouldn't
77.
want to put the air conditioning on. You'd rather open the windows and save on the gas mileage. But
It is.
it's
74
so much
would be cold.
efficient now.
And the handle like ripping.
And now the air
When I was younger, I
dry.
used to be at 68.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm serious.
When I lived with my parents, I was like 68.
I can't stand it. And I don't do 74 to save money. I do it because it's covered.
I do. I love 77.
I walk out there waiting for the warm up zone. They're off. Or I start the dump truck
She's
up
way
there,
colder
warm
than
up
me,
in the winter,
and she
turned off.
loves warm.
He runs it. He just.
I like to wear the covers are
at that
on,
time where it was a different.
Yeah.
but maybe occasionally at night you might kick the cover off for a minute.
We never wasted stuff.
But I don't like it so I don't like it warm to where you don't have covers.
At least 1,000 times a month.
Every day.
Yeah.
Boy, that wildfire in California is just nuts, man. They just flashed at like 10,000 homes, maybe.
Are we getting any of the smoke from that? Because I swear the other day it was the great.
There's fires here still.
Oh, there was one up in, I saw it coming back from the mountains 2 weeks ago, Rampart.
Oh, Rampart's not that far.
No, not at all. They had a fire up there. They got it under control fairly quick, but boy, you could see it. You could see the smoke.
I tell you, the whole house fan, there's nothing better than that.
Do you have that?
Yes.
Hi, Tom Martino here. You learned something on the Troubleshooter show today. You can have a SEER
Rating in a condenser on an AC, central AC, and it can say one thing, but it can be way less than that if it's paired with a cheaper coil. On the other hand, a better coil can boost the SEER, and a variable speed motor can boost the SEER. Susan called originally not because of the contract demanding a certain SEER, as I was reminded when I asked her, why the heck do you care? You don't have it specified in the contract. She simply wants to know so she can apply for the rebate. So Susan, that's very logical. You want to know the highest SEER you can boost, you can put down on your application, right?
Well, the contract is going to be providing that.
Providing what, dear?
The paperwork for the rebate.
Oh, so...
Well, then just have them put down 18.
Yeah, I was going to ask, who checks that, by the way? Who does check it? I'm not suggesting you lie, but do you know, Susan, who checks?
I just sent mine in.
Because I called Excel,
yes,
again, asking for a website that I could confirm the two combined equals a particular SEER, and she said, and I asked, I said, well, do your people verify, you know, because I'm assuming they'd have model numbers. And she says, no, I think we just depend on the contractor.
To be honest. Right? Just to be honest.
Yeah.
So what SEER did your contractor put down?
Pardon?
What SEER did your contractor end up putting?
Their contracts don't have space for SEER. They just put model numbers.
But what rebate
They're
did you
referral
get?
people.
Yeah, what rebate did you get?
I don't know yet. I don't have the paperwork. They said.
So who's going to determine that is what I'm asking. Who's going to determine that?
I'm assuming the contractor.
Okay. Who is the, you use the referral list. Who is it?
I don't want to mention.
No, they didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to help you get your exact rating is what I'm going to do.
I don't want to mention them on air.
Okay, all right.
Now, 'cause, I mean, I don't have a beef with that unless it turns out that.
I'm not suggesting they did anything wrong. I'm going to help you. So tell me off the air. We'll help you get the exact rating. And by the way, if they... Now this, I mentioned things about in writing, didn't I, and the contract. However, when it comes to my referral list, if you feel that they insinuated 18 SEER, we are going to believe you. So,
Tom, I'm going to say, you know, the unit we had before was 13 SEER. We had a contract for 13 SEER. The unit said 13 SEER.
Yeah.
So we didn't even know that
you could affect it.
These combining coils and stuff, you know.
Yeah. But this is news to me too. So, okay, Suzanne, get the name of the company off the air, please, and then we will pursue it. And I want to know if they thought they were doing 18 SEER, we're going to get you 18 SEER. Why not? I mean, if that was a misunderstanding.
It looks like that website, by the way. Listen, it's ahridirectory.org.
And you can put in numbers.
You can put in all kinds of model numbers and it'll calculate it.
Give that to Suzanne. Suzanne, give that to her.
ahridirectory.org.
Thank you, Mark. That's great.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You can literally pick out the coil, pick out the unit, and bam.
That is really good. Wow. 303-713-TALK. You can learn a lot. Is our show almost over? Oh, my God.
How about the fact a variable fan adds 1 point?
No, I know. Okay, Dee, what's going on, Dee?
Well, I'm really embarrassed. I'm a senior citizen.
How old are you?
I'm 73.
Okay. What can we do for you? What can we do for you?
I have made a contract with someone to take off the popcorn ceilings in my home. And I knew when he left, that night I thought, I've given him money. I may never see him again.
Now, hold on a second. I want to ask a couple questions. You don't have asbestos in those ceilings, do you?
No.
Okay.
Well, not that I know of.
Well,
no, my house was built in 85.
No, guys? No, that's good. Okay, hold on. Another question, Dee. How much did you pay?
$2,000.
Up front.
Up front. Before he ever showed up, the next day was his crew.
I understand. But he did show up after that.
A little bit. He's shown up 2 or 3 times for 2 hours.
How much is done altogether?
The downstairs is not even. But
if you had to give a percentage, how much is done? 25%?
No, maybe 60.
Okay, well that's good. More than half is done.
Yes, but he says I owe him another $2,000.
Well, I was going to ask, what's the total contract price?
$4,000.
Okay.
And here's what he told me. That first day, he says, now it's customary that you put 50% down.
Well, nothing is customary, okay?
Well, I know I got taken. I didn't.
No. The good news is you're ahead of the game right now.
Right now.
Well, that's what I want to know is how to handle it because I think he's going to be back tomorrow.
Well, hold on.
They weren't here today. They weren't here yesterday.
You haven't been ripped off yet, Dee. If you have more than half done and you paid half, you're right on target. Your concern is whether or not he's going to finish when you pay him the rest, and I would have the same concern. And I would say the only way you're going to get paid the rest is to complete the job. I would say that. I mean, that's just the way I would do it. And we will help you. We'll talk to the guy. How did you find this guy?
Actually, he was referred to me by the man who was installing my carpet.
And how did you find that guy?
I found it through a reputable carpet place.
Okay.
But there's a big part of the story I haven't told you yet.
Uh-oh, what part's that?
He has a prison record.
Which one?
And both of them. Because what happened is, about a week ago, I had about $25,000 worth of jewelry stolen from my bedroom.
Well, guess what, Susan? Dee, you got a problem. You hold on. You're not going away. Hold on. We need to help her, guys. Suzanne, This we need to help off the air. This woman, we need to help her. Hold on. Now they want more money. What are you kidding? Somebody took $25,000 in jewelry. Let's get to the bottom of this one. Do you know what I love about art of...
Geez, did she ever drop a bomb? You would think you would start out.
Yeah. We need to take
By the way.
Clint, get on that.
Or is
Don't
this
call the guy
the
until we
permanent
talk.
one with a lady that had that money taped to her HVAC?
That was the craziest shit I ever heard.
Like
I still don't know if I fucking...
I agree.
She said she duct taped, like, what was it, $5,000 to the back of her HVAC unit, had someone out to check it, 4 or 5 months later realizes the money's gone, wants that HVAC company to give her $5,000 or whatever. First of all, who the fuck duct tapes money to their...
And not only that, she said when she went down there, she didn't know if the guy was pulling up his pants or something like that, or buckling up his pants. She just remembered that, you know.
Yeah, that dawned on her 4 months later.
Yeah.
That's insane.